Hello everyone! Welcome back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist Resurfaced. I am your DM, a mind flayer feared by sentient creatures across the multiverse, imbued with powerful innate psionic abilities. I seek to expand my dominion by consuming the brains of those in my path for sustenance, leaving a husk I can control. But for now, I'm taking a break to play some D&D. Victoria, would you like to go for announcements, please?
I, as the faithful husk servant to my Mind Flayer master, shall do the announcements. First of all, you guys already know what it is. Thank you to our sponsors. First up is Little Dragon Corp. They're a Canadian dice company. They have all kinds of really cool stuff. You should totally check out their Twitter at LittleDragonCo1 to stay updated on their awesome products. And you can use the coupon code PROBONUS, PROBONUS, when you head over to littledragoncorp.com, and you'll get 10% off of your order. And second sponsor is Cardboard Castle Games. Thank you to them for their support as well. They are a lovely game store local to the Evans, Georgia area. So if you ever find yourself there, please give them your support. Also, don't forget to check out our other games. The schedule should be posted below the Twitch video feed, or if a kind soul can do the Twitch chat command for me, please and thank you. We stream every day. We have games for major published modules. We have homebrew games. We have some games that are not even 5th edition. And you know what? Like, we've got some stuff coming, and I'm not going to say anything because, like, it's not my business. I'm not in charge of Probo. They just keep me here to look sexy. But, like, stuff's getting exciting soon, so you gotta keep tuning in. Yeah. Also, thanks to Adrian Von Ziegler for some of the music that we're now using. He's a really talented composer that you should check out on YouTube, and support him on Patreon if you can. Christy Mystichour!
Hell yeah! So I think tomorrow we are discussing the group Delve Requisite. So I think we're going to be talking to the cast of them and figure out how they've been doing since the rebranding of Tabletop Legends. So come hang out with us. I believe that is what is happening. Yeah. Maybe then we will do the announcement for September 1st during that stream. We'll see. I'll talk to the producers and see what I'm allowed to spill tomorrow.
Okay. Does Dylan, if you want to begin with a recap of our last session since it's been 2 weeks?
Yes, it has been 2 weeks. The party had just finished a combat with a bunch of bugbears that had invaded our home to steal away the man that we have tied up in our basement, an agent of the Xanathar's Guild. Having dispatched the bugbears, the party had to quickly figure out a way to get those bodies dealt with, which, thanks to the assistance of Raynar, of all people, we were able to get them dealt with by taking a quick little jaunt over into the outside of the city to go speak with a very, very intimidating dragonborn who seems to be able to specialize in dealing with corpses. And he also so graciously took us off his delivery list for meat deliveries for our restaurant. Yeah, it's the only thing I've thought about. So that's great.
Thanks
we
for the
throw out
follow.
all of our other meat. Thanks for the follow. We throw out the rest of our meat. And the party members, having kind of needing to deal with that, essentially started to try and plan out their next move. We know what we need to get, which is for our first key, which is a pure bar of adamantine, incredibly expensive, incredibly rare, incredibly hard to work with, and it's mostly held secret of dwarves. So Sir went off to go talk to Kreb, his dwarvish friend and silversmith, to get a little bit more information about it and different places that we could obtain it. And then we also spoke with Mert the moneylender. We paid off our loan because we actually made enough money even with closing because of so many attacks on us lately, but we paid off our loan, so D&D really is a fantasy game. We asked him to possibly keep us in the know about this cult of Asmodeus that's seeming to make moves in the city, trying to really kind of focus in on what they're doing, and then also asked him if he knew any places that we could get adamantine. So we have a lot of different options, the most prominent one most likely being taking a ship to Baldur's Gate to go meet with a very, very strange individual known as the... They're in here somewhere.
The Fetcher.
It's in my notes. The Fetcher. The Fetcher. I couldn't see if they were listed under allies or enemies because I don't know yet.
Collectors, but that's Mass Effect.
But even more importantly, the party has seemingly started to focus their investigation on the Castellanter family, who we had, for some reason, just sort of kept letting them slip under our radar, but now seem to be very suspicious and possibly connected to this cult. So we may be trying to infiltrate or investigate them as we come upon their birthday for their children's birthday that we're supposed to be catering, which I thought about, by the way, is a holiday. Because my which was told, so that's a whole thing. But that's where we're at. We're gonna be meeting with a contact for Mert. We have a man tied up, not in our basement anymore, but now at Raynar's house. We need to get adamantine. We need to investigate the Castellanters. That's kind of where the party is at. I think we're all back home.
And you said you were waiting for someone. Yes, did I remember that correctly when we were talking?
We are going to be waiting for this one. I definitely have. Under organization. Nope. I need to reorganize this. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Mramalia, Lady of House Olbrinter, Spy for Mert is what I have written down. Right? We're gonna hear from her.
I've got all the places that we can, there it is. The places we can get adamantine, the Fetcher, Mirabar, the Mithril Hall, Gauntlgrim, or Sundabar. Yeah, but we don't have any money because we paid off
our loan,
which is good. So that's kind of where we're at.
Assuming this is still the same day as the wee hours, morning time where we brought the dude to Raynar's house, I'm definitely not gonna just let that be. I wanna if people wanna go hang out with Raynar for a little while, I wanna go hang out with Raynar for a little while. I don't know. I just am really uneasy. I don't know if I should leave my familiar there in case 7,000 bugbears show up at his house. I don't know what to do. But we're also are we opening the... You guys, are we opening the tavern tonight? I think we got all the bloodstains out to the floorboards, so...
I mean, Nova was redoing the menu for this week, so if you want to...
That's right. We need to fix all of the meat and get new meat.
There's no meat on the menu for a week. She's not...
I'll have you know
that's my off of the menu, boys.
Yeah, there's no meat this week until she gets a new shipment, and she is...
My vegetarian options are quite delicious.
Yes, and lots of breakfast options, so that's what Nova's been doing. Oh no, everyone froze! Give me a second, stream. Oh. Hello?
Whoa! We all turned into lines.
Yeah, hello?
I'm checking.
I hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Twitch looks good.
Okay.
Fast response times.
PC power!
I think Sir is probably do we happen to have a map of the Sword Coast laying around, or could I buy one if we don't have one?
Pretty sure you guys have one.
Have one? Okay, so then he's probably been looking at all of those places to get the adamantine, even though he knows that we most likely have to go with the fetcher. He's just kind of seeing if, he's trying to plan, like, if that doesn't work out for whatever reason, like, what's the next step? Do we go past Waterdeep and go back up north, and go around the spine to try and make our way to the Mithril Hall, things like that, and just trying to get, like, he's that mom that is making sure that the vacation plan is all set months ahead, even though it's not months ahead. So that's what he's been doing. So he's probably down there with the map, one of his journals, just kind of writing things.
Okay. So Dallas is spending the day at Raynar's. Am I getting that right? Sir is planning.
Yeah, I don't think we have much else to do after we took care of all of the naughty business.
Do you have Bramble on someone right now?
No, I brought him back home because he was watching the creepy cleric lady, or whatever she is, the one that hurt you bad. Yeah. But she was literally just being weirdly not weird in the trade ward and just hanging out.
Weirdly not weird.
So then we were oh yeah, Castellanter's gonna kind of transition to them now that we have kind of figured them out as a potential suspect in this. So he's home and he's getting the rest of the day off because he's been working very hard watching people lately. He's napping in his little bed in the tower, on a little bed of moss, and I imagine I either constructed it out of twigs or I had Sir carve some of the little tiny bed frame for him.
Aww.
He could probably do that.
Yeah, and he's resting.
Okay. Nova, how are you spending your day?
Repurposing the kitchen and the menu and figuring out the week's plan for before the next shipment comes in for meat.
Fair enough. Given some information that you've gotten, there we are. I'm sitting here trying to find my calendar. It's underneath my book. Anyway, felt a little unorganized for a second. You are... I believe so, yeah. I can actually pull my calendar right now. But
yeah,
you are more than welcome to spend the day getting your menu in order so that you don't have to have meat for this week until your next shipment. Probably a wise decision, given recent events dealing with your butcher.
Already been deep cleaned. It's just now redoing the menu.
Okay. And you can also spend some time during the day coaching your staff on no meat. Here's what we're serving this week, so that they are also up to speed and don't attempt to try to do anything that might result in meat being on the menu. If that's how you guys want to spend your day, that's totally fine. If there's anything else that you want to get done today, you can let me know. Talus, you can have basically just kind of a hangout day with Raynar. Nothing really of note regarding the bugbears that came and attacked your tavern happens, at least today. So you can kind of just hang out talking. He makes food for you. He'll give you drink or wine or whatever if you ask for it. You can basically just hang out at his estate.
If he needs mayonnaise for the cooking, I'll give him some mayonnaise.
Okay.
If not, I will make us some wine in the alchemy jug instead, and we can just vibe and probably I feel does he have a nice yard?
Yeah, there's a
If he wants to
grounds.
vibe in the yard, we're vibing in the yard looking for crunchy leaves, because I feel like this is the time where we're starting to find crunchy leaves, and like intact ones.
And you know, Raynar, he is the type to just humor you entirely and enthusiastically do it alongside you. So he will, of course, look for crunchy leaves outside with you.
Yeah, and then at some point, I'm gonna use one of my last, I have 2 paper birds left, I'm gonna use one of them to write a note to Jarlaxle. It said, because I think I already told him about the bugbears, I was like, the bodies are gone, but the live guy is hanging out at Raynar's house.
Mhm.
If you need him back, I'll let you know if I move him again. Okay, thanks, love you, bye. And then I just eat that off.
Okay, sounds good. The paper, as soon as you are done writing it, folds itself into a paper crane, which then enchants and flies away.
Yeah.
Okay. If there is anything else that anybody would like to accomplish for today, now is the time to kind of shout out and let me know. Otherwise, you are more than welcome to move on to the 3rd of Marpanath and take a long rest and get back spell slots if you need it.
I would also say that Sir probably takes the work that he's been doing in his spare time, his studies, and goes to the Blackstaff Academy to have Temperance basically review his work and probably assign him maybe some more books or things of that nature.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and roll me an intelligence check?
I will roll you an intelligence check. 19, so a dirty 20.
Okay, so reviewing the work that you've been doing, which mostly consisted of learning the Draconic alphabet, learning its pronunciations, learning how to write it so that you are able to do so for incantations and also for spells, and writing things down in kind of like a spellbook sort of situation that you have, as well as focusing kind of on harnessing that energy and being able to use your emotions and identify those emotions to move you forward in getting more control over your magic versus it happening in emotional times. That was kind of what you had been assigned before. Coming to Temperance to have all of those things evaluated, Temperance being the assistant of the Blackstaff, which is essentially the High Wizard of Waterdeep, going over your work, she is very impressed at your progress, especially because it's only been about a 10-day, I believe, anyway.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been about a 10 days, so you've made exceptional progress in a very short amount of time, and she is very, very thrilled to find that. Assigning you a little bit more, she gives you basically books on magical theory, going into different theories about the weave, how magic was created by Mystra, things of that nature, just to get a core understanding of how you are manipulating energy in the world.
All right, so we're going from learning the alphabet to theory of existence through magic. Oh wow. Okay.
It may seem like a very big step to you, sir, and it kind of is, but you are progressing in a far more exemplary rate than I had initially expected. Not that is an insult to you, but magic is a very difficult thing to learn. So it's not necessarily that you're going into this now feeling like you need to learn about the existence of the world and magic, but I want you to have an understanding of what magic is and like where it came from, and the different theories of how people think it's used. So there are some people who think that the weave was created by Mystra, but there are some people who think that the weave was just kind of came to existence, and it's okay to believe any of those things, but you should come up with a opinion of your own, and understanding why you're doing what you're doing and what you're manipulating versus just boom, magic is coming out of my hands, I think is important part of your education.
I would agree. I think that it's sort of like, I'm a simple man. I do wood carving. You need to understand the different kinds of wood if you want to be able to properly use your tools. So
Exactly.
I understand that it's probably very similar. While I have your ear, I know it's been about a week, so perhaps there's been progress with this. How have things gone with the Zentarum boy that we brought you?
Yes. As far as I'm aware, things are going well enough. Things tend to go pretty slow with the Magisters, especially given just the way bureaucracy in the city works. So I can check in on him and send you a message to figure out exactly what's going on. But as far as I know, your testimony regarding what happened is working in his favor. He is not going to go unpunished by any means, but there is perhaps leniency going to be involved.
And how do you know how is he doing?
There's only so much that can happen when you're in custody with the watch. He is being taken care of, but as far as how he is, I would assume it probably isn't the best.
At least I'll hope that maybe the safety that it's providing is...
Yes, it definitely is. He is not in the hands of the Zentarum, and I think that at the very least is a positive in this case, because if they were left to take care of his punishment, I don't think it would be going quite as well.
You're probably very right about that. I was going to go ask at possibly the temple, but do you possibly know if the arrangements for his sister's burial have been... I know Nova wanted to be there.
I don't think that anything formal has happened. They don't update me specifically on the arrangements of the burials that happen in that case.
Very
but
busy.
I could also reach out to the temple if you'd like and let you know. I'm sure that they will. I did inform them that Nova wanted to be a part of giving last rites, basically. So I assume that they will be contacting you eventually to put that in place.
Okay.
The thing about it is that they're very likely giving priority to clergy members, to people who have come in before to get funeral arrangements in order. Not that her ceremonies or anything are any less important, but she did kind of come in last, that sort of thing. So, but you can be assured at the very least that they are taking precautions to make sure that she is taken care of. Things will not progress in the way of, you know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say, and I know you're very busy. You don't need to follow up with the Dylan question. It is the Temple of Kelemvor, right, that handles the dead? So I know those people.
Yes.
Okay. So I know actually a few of the clergymen there, so I can follow up with them personally. But
okay.
I think that you putting in a good word that Dragon can be able to attend the service, even if he has to be accompanied by a magister, would probably go far.
I can do that.
Okay, you're the best. I am going to get back to these books then.
Okay.
Thank you.
She will see you out.
Okay.
Okay. So, I don't believe that there is anything else that Vic wanted to do, and if you two are alright, you can take that long rest and get back in the spell slots if you've used them. I don't know if you guys even need them right now, but... Which brings us to the 3rd of Marpenoth. I know you guys are kind of in this, like, almost downtimey sort of lull. So we don't have to go over this day by day if you don't want to. We can if there are things that you need to do that are time sensitive. But basically, you guys can kind of tell me how many days you are waiting and what you're doing on those days. The next week or so is kind of yours to do with what you will. So you're muted.
The next 10-day week?
Essentially, as things progress, if there's something that happens on a specific day with NPCs or anything like that, I will jump in. But as we move forward, you guys can kind of let me know.
Christy, do we have anything? Did you send your letter to Moongi saying we may be coming soon? Did you end up finishing sending that? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I actually sent it to Chell, but I did in game. Yeah, she basically just didn't give like a direct day we were arriving. It's like within the next month. We'll probably.
Okay, and then I guess I had kind of it's a weird mechanical question because I am amnesiac. I don't know if I have a background feature, but does my history in working on the docks, would that equate possibly to securing a cheaper or better place of passage, even if I like went back and started talking with those guys again?
I would say, because with background features, there's basically a lot of like, you can do this 100% equivocably. I will say that you will have advantage in any roles involving that, but you don't really have a background.
But I don't have the feat, yeah, because I'm not a sailor. I was a dog.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fair.
Vic, the only thing that you missed in that little bit that you were popped out is that I'm kind of letting you guys do what you want with the next 10 day and just tell me like what you're doing on specific days so that we don't have to go through every single day individually. If there is a day that comes up that there's anything that happens with NPCs, I will pop in and let you know, but the next like 10 day or so is about you guys and what you want to do, and you can do with it what you will.
I think like all of our little like side quests and keeping up with people is caught up. I don't think that there are any people waiting on us, right? We finished it. We don't have to go. Do you have to? I'm pointing like Victoria. Do you have to do anything with the shard shunners?
I don't believe that Talos was made aware of anything with them specifically. She like reported on it, and that was kind of it. The only thing that I wasn't sure if like everyone else was done yet or not, but the only thing is like I want to be checking on Rainy regularly.
Okay.
And like seeing how many days this dude is like at his house.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I want to spend a little bit of time there every day, and I'll tell Rainy he doesn't have to entertain me. I can literally just sit in his yard and like garden for him. And then at night I want to send Bramble to sit like somewhere, if it's possible, where he could maybe see like a window near Ott's room and like a door. But if he can't, then just be near Ott's room and be looking in the window.
Okay. Why don't you roll me just a general overall perception check for Bramble?
Oh, Bram, come on, buddy. He's not... He has a +3, okay. Blue and purple! Okay, 18.
18, okay. So,
better than what I would have gotten.
You can spend... So it is currently the 3rd of Marpenoth. So today, the 4th and 5th at Reynar's doing gardening or whatever outside. He does feed you and he will spend time with you, but he doesn't micromanage you or hang over your shoulder or anything like that. And then at night, Bramble can watch Ott. He is kept comfortable. Raynar is not really treating him like a prisoner so much as just a dude that has to stay in his room. He's feeding him, he's giving him things to entertain him, things like that. It is the 6th day that Bramble noticed. So I say 6th day, I mean 6th day of Marpanath. It is the 3rd day since the 3rd of Marpanath. Bramble tells you that there are people from that he recognizes from when you were at the carnival, essentially breaking into Ranar's home.
I'm a Bampin and look. Is it like Salvarak? Or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was like he's the one that is like yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
And he's grabbing Ott.
Well, for now, hold on, let's see.
More home
I'm
invasion.
about to talk to him through this tiny man that he's never seen before.
That's so. I forgot that you could do that. That's so weird.
About to freak him the
Pulling
fuck
my
out.
Notes here.
I also have a question after this is done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is 2 people that you know, Felrex being one of them, and then Krebig, who is Felrex's buddy. So they are essentially breaking into Ranar's home, picking the locks successfully, and moving through the house extremely quietly. Because Bramble's out, you said he's outside, so he's not really seeing all of what they're doing, but he's like moving around through the windows to like see if he can like follow them at least a little bit. And then they pick the lock to Ott's room and go in and are fetching him. Yes.
Are they taking him out of the window or back down through the door?
Back down through the doors.
Oh, Bramble's going waiting at that door.
Okay.
I
He's
want to
going
say
down.
hi.
Ott is being cooperative and walking. He's not making them carry him or anything like that. So they lead him down, and they are being polite enough, as polite as you can be when you are breaking into someone's home, and closing all of the doors behind them that they've opened, making sure they're not leaving footprints, anything like that. Leading him downstairs through the home, to the front door. Is Bramble visible?
Yeah, I'm gonna have him just be floating at. Oh, I want to be like a little ways away. I don't want to be right at the door because I don't want him to get cut.
Okay.
But he's gonna be like at rough head height, like maybe like 5 feet away.
Okay. And visible, right? Okay. So they open the front door, lock it behind them, close it, and then turn around and stop.
Correct. I say through, because I can speak through Bramble. Hi.
And he's like,
It's me.
I know, I recognize your voice. What the hell is this?
This is my friend Bramble. I can talk
Who?
through him.
Waves.
I can see through him. I was watching to make sure that, everything was alright with the guy, and it is. So have a lovely night.
Okay.
Miss you, buddy. Bye.
Okay. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say. You startled me a little bit.
I get that a lot.
Are you doing okay? This is weird, talking to him like
I know, right?
I'm talking to you.
He's so little. It's really it's off-putting at first, but honestly, it gets quite endearing after a while. I'm great. Doing great. We'll hang out soon. I'll pencil you in. Miss you, bud.
Okay, Dallas.
Okay, Dallas. Yeah, accurate.
Going to bed now. Bye.
Alright, bye.
And then Bramble will come home and we go to bed.
And he's like standing there like, okay, and then they walk off with that.
Cool.
Better not attract dirt in Raynar's beautiful home.
So that is on the
They were
6th
walking.
that Odd is picked up.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my question was, I have 2 spell scrolls unreadable in my possession. Does anyone remember where or what those are? Where we got them, what those are?
Did we
Were
get them
they-
from Otira, like Draken's sister?
I think they were from Draken's sister because I know she had her spell book, which I took.
Yeah.
The vial of poison that I sold, and then possibly the scrolls.
I'm looking back at my notes.
No, it was not Otira. She had the spell book and the quarterstaff.
Let's see. Who
Was it from
fulfilled-
the Growlin Villa?
Maybe?
No, you wouldn't have
No,
stolen
you
things
wouldn't
from
have-
the villa.
It could have been that orc at the very beginning.
Maybe.
All the way at the beginning?
Like
Oh, boy.
all the
I was
way
just
at the beginning.
like thinking, what do I need to do this week? And I'm looking through all my shit, and I'm like, there's 2 unreadable spell scrolls, and I don't know if I gave those to Ace or
No, because my spell scrolls are all ones that I bought. I'm really thinking.
Because there was also like a hidden chest underneath that weird like mind flayer dude's like throne.
Was it in the chest in the Grauhun Villa where we got the Asmodeus stuff?
that's what I was wondering. If...
Based on my notes, it looks like it is from the wizard that you killed back in the sewers.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
God, wow.
There is a scroll of Unseen Servant and a scroll of False Life.
Alright, I'll give those
If you want to make notes of that on the items.
Unseen Servant and False Life. I'll give those to Ace then.
Okay.
Ace needs to. I think
I'll
he
have
can
both.
cast both of those.
I'll pass them.
You can cast them too. Because I use the wizard spell list, so like I know a lot of spells. Unseen Servant definitely. False. Yeah, we can both use those.
Okay, yeah, I'll hand those to you guys. Be like, here, I don't know, I don't think I can use these. I was looking through my stuff. Looking through the bag of holding, all my equipment.
I can't use false life.
Okay.
You can. Okay.
I don't see it here. I think it's a specific warlock that does that.
Do you want either of these?
I mean, Unseen Servant's kind of cool, but if you want it,
Well, I mean, because if you have Unseen Servant and Bramble working together, you could do some pretty interesting stuff.
that's
You're creative. Take the Unseen Servant,
okay.
because I have a
And-
mage hand.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Thanks,
I'll
Jel.
add
Sorry,
a
that was a throwback.
Yeah, that's okay.
I was like,
That's why I
Um,
take. That's why I
mean,
take
sometimes-
pretty detailed notes.
'Cause I was
so that when
updating
that
my-
stuff happens-
my paper birds, and I think that's around the time we got the paper birds, and I was updating the number of paper birds I have left, and then underneath it says 2 unreadable spell scrolls, and I'm like, that tells me nothing, Christy. What does that mean?
Yeah, no, that's totally okay. That's why I keep notes that
Thank
I can pop back and
I appreciate that.
grab those. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that anybody would like to do over this 10-day? So basically from the 3rd to the 13th.
Wow, I just added a spell scroll, and now I suddenly have 2 spell scrolls. I don't know what the other... Don't worry about it, I'll figure it out later. It's not relevant, I don't need
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I do them as custom items and just write what the spell is next to it so that they don't get mixed up.
Yeah,
Try
I'll do this. I'll do this off camera.
You are good, don't worry.
Since I can't think of anything, I'm going to say that Sir is just training, studying, relaxing. Yeah, just because we had a really, really busy last 10 day. Let's have
Yeah.
like a normal 10-day.
Yeah.
And just give them time to heal.
Yeah. I feel like Nova's kind of in the same mindset of like throwing herself into the work of the Three of Cups.
Okay.
Kind of like almost like a guilty conscience to try and make up for everything that's happened. So yeah, I think she's fully like in the kitchen or in her tent. Either like if she's not in her tent, she's in the kitchen helping out.
Okay. I will say on the first day of the second 10-day of the month, which is the 11th, you do get your new shipment, and it is not Joshua. It is an entirely different delivery person, bringing what is very clearly not human meat.
Oh, thank God!
Okay.
Thank God! Oh, thank the gods! Oh, thank the gods! Okay, good.
So that happens on the first day of the second. You basically get weekly shipments. On the first day of the 10-day, you get your alcohol, you get your linens, you get your food, things like that. So
she is noticeably a lot less stressed having the proper shipment in.
I will say that week was probably pretty rough because
rough.
though you were able to kind of create a menu that was vegetarian, you kind of had to do it with what you had already. So that week was probably, you maybe had to go to a different restaurant and be like, hey, I'll pay you for like if you have an extra crate of, I don't know, onions, things like that.
Yep.
You were like scraping the bottom of the barrel as far as your shipment was concerned, because it wasn't a shipment that considered you weren't doing meat. So it was probably a pretty rough week.
Yep, accurate.
That's
Which
fair.
is why she threw herself into work. She's like,
Yeah.
this needs to be fixed.
Gotta compensate.
Actually, Nova, why don't you roll me? We'll call it I will say let's call it an intelligence check, but you can add your proficiency.
Okay.
Basically for how well you were able to accommodate your menu with the food. It's gonna this roll will eventually affect your next money roll for your
So it's my intelligence modifier and proficiency bonus?
yes.
Okay, so that's 22. I rolled a natural 19 plus
Okay.
2. No, yeah, plus 2 for the proficiency and 1 intelligence, so plus 3.
Making a note. All right, so that will contribute to, because this week I'm taking into account with your money rolls for when you do your money management stuff at the end of the month for the bar, so that will kind of play into that.
Thank you.
As to how this week went.
Thank you.
Can Talus just like, can I get like a pan flute and like try to teach myself the pan flute and come up with like a nice little jig with Bramble? And then if Sir like wants to play the piano, like maybe we can like come up with like a jaunty little thing, and I do a little dance, and Bramble's like doing the little dance, and we have like a little trio. Because like, Talus, it kind of feels like she doesn't help as much in the way that the others help with the running of the tavern, so she wants to like do something like productive, and then just like focus on like learning more about the bartending stuff and like learning more about the different alcohols and how to like serve well.
Okay, buying a pan flute's gonna cost you 12 gold.
Whew.
Nice pan.
So if you'd
But
like
it's
to,
zesty.
but it's sure.
Zesty.
And then why don't you also throw me an intelligence, call it a history check if you have proficiency. Just on this basically is a roll to determine how well you absorb information as you are being taught.
No, I only have a +1. I'm not proficient in history, so that's a 13.
Okay. So that can be an ongoing thing if you'd like. It's not that necessarily that you're learning an entirely new proficiency, which takes about 250 days of working pretty hard at learning it, but I will take those rolls into account as you spend days doing so. Are you doing that for most of your 10-day?
No, that's just like I do that during the day before we're like really getting going. That's like
Okay.
my daytime activity, and then my nighttime activity is like just trying to like learn from the staff, about
Okay.
like the front of house, particularly bartending stuff.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
talking to people and yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, I will keep that role in mind as well. Is there anything else?
Does our dwarven guest, is she still there?
Thank you for reminding me about her. I totally forgot about her.
I knew there was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she remains at the bar until the 10th, which is the last day of the first 10 day of the month. She does assist. She has been assisting in the bar while she's been staying. She, if you remember, has been disguising herself as a male dwarf rather than as herself.
Yeah.
Using a disguise kit every day.
Istrid.
Yes, Istrid. She's been super quiet, and she has been assisting in the bar, but her assistance has been kind of... She assists with what she wants to assist with. So, like, if there's one day where she decides she wants to clean, she'll clean. If she decides she wants to help in the kitchen, she helps in the kitchen. If she's been ever asked to do anything, so, like, if she's cleaning and somebody is like, hey, can you do this instead? She gets kind of snippy and grumpy. She does not like being told what to do.
Fair.
She likes to assist on her own terms because she is deciding what she thinks is the appropriate payment for what you guys are doing, especially because she's already paid you. She paid you half.
I 10 on that start, and I have it. Hold on. I will find it.
It was like 10 platinum at the beginning, and then she would give you the rest.
40 after a 10 day.
How many after a 10 day?
40 is what I have in my
40.
notes.
Perfect. So on the 10th, she departs. She does not say goodbye. It's basically like wait, Istrid has been here for a little while, hasn't she? So you go up to check on her, and there is just a pouch on like the nightstand that has 40 platinum in it.
Yay!
Nice.
You can, however, actually, why don't you all roll me a history check really quick?
Just
Everyone?
Yeah.
This dice.
While do you want me to put that 40 platinum in your bar funds, or are you gonna split that
Not
yourself?
in my funds.
In totality.
Fair enough.
13 here.
Okay.
7.
Okay.
History?
Yep.
14.
Okay. I'll say, Sir and Nova, you remember that the fact that Istrid has left likely means that Dobble
Well, is
not in custody.
He's done his hard
He's
labor.
done breaking rocks.
He's done breaking rocks.
He's probably so hot now. He's probably like so buff. It's like
What? How many days into our time skip is this that she's gone? She leaves on the 10th.
We started on the 3rd, so about 7 days.
Okay. Cool. I thought of something real quick that Sir would be doing just in his off time because he doesn't get a lot of off time, which is just low key trying to figure out if there's more things that he knows how to do that he forgot he knew how to do.
Okay.
Because he never has free time to do that. So, like, when Talus went to go buy that pan flute, maybe he went with her to the shop and was like, let me see if I can play any other of these instruments. Or maybe asks Nova if she can search his mind a little bit more for skills.
I'd
Things
be
like
willing
that.
to do that.
If there's any other thing, because I keep on forgetting, nothing says that my character sheet is fully done. So I don't know until I try things.
Okay. Okay. I can't remember if I have already told you this one. But if you are messing around and trying to figure things out in the way of instruments, you do find that you have proclivity to playing the piano.
Yep, I know. Yeah.
I don't remember if I told you that before already.
Yeah, because I was going to ask for Raynar's piano to be brought
Right, that
here.
is right, yeah.
I know that one.
What instruments are you trying?
God, I mean...
Hurdy-gurdy. I make him try a hurdy-gurdy.
You don't know how to play the hurdy-gurdy.
Thank you for not making... I mean, I think if he knows the piano, he's like, if I was the snooty rich asshole, what kind of instruments would I have learned how to play?
Violin.
So he goes.
Do you say
He
that
goes
out loud?
straight for the. Maybe he goes straight for a violin. He goes straight for a violin and tries that.
Okay. I like your thought process because that is when you know how to play.
I called it. Yeah.
You have proficiency in playing the violin.
Ah! Wait. So then he's like. So like you're in your pamphlet and you're like, ah! This is the good one, and like Sir's like.
Possible.
And he's like looking at you and he's like. He's like.
Yeah, you're literally doing like some Beethoven shit, and I'm doing Jurassic Park Recorder theme song.
It's like muscle memory though. You pick it up and you draw the bow over the strings, and it doesn't screech at first. It's just kind of, it's not a discordant note. It's this very fluid note that happens, and you're like, okay. So you try a new one, and your fingers, it's like they just know where to be on the strings, on the neck of the violin. And you start to play, and you kind of get the feeling that there's probably you think at least that you used to be this noble person. Perhaps you received lessons in maybe quite a few instruments and had to do things during those lessons. I don't know if any of you play instruments. I used to play the clarinet, and my clarinet teacher made me memorize things all the time. So there are songs and pieces that are just kind of muscle memory to you, like you've memorized them and are just kind of coming out as you begin to play.
Does the music do anything? Does it like connect with any other senses? Does it like maybe tap into a memory, or is it just the muscle memory?
Let me roll.
I love that we're both like violin.
Yeah.
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 You should try the harp while we're here.
So it's not like a movie playing behind your head or behind your eyes moment of memory. It's more that this memory is sort of attached to a feeling. So as you play this very melodical piece that kind of it plays more into your positive memories, positive feelings, contentedness, comfort, as in being comfortable with around people, a sense of feeling at home.
If he plays that whole song, does Talus do anything? Right? If he just flat out plays it like right there in the little music shop that we're at or wherever.
If it's like a happier like kind of song, like if I can do a little like, even if it's not like a jig type dance, if it's more of like a, like, you know, the white girl tree sway, we white girl tree sway and arms up, you're just like wait, and like just doing like, that was really good.
Then when he like finishes the last note, he'll like look at the shop owner and he'll be like, "I'll take it. How much?"
Okay. Let me look here.
They're expensive, I know.
Not too bad. 30 gold.
I'll give him 3 platinum.
Okay.
And I will take it. Okay. Coolio.
I was probably like shooting on my little pan flute really badly because I don't know how. Half the time it's just air going through, and the other time it's really like sharp, like.
Then, in the days following, like Nova, while you maybe are doing work downstairs, Sir every now and then will be like, "I'm gonna go upstairs to study," and it's quiet, and quiet and quiet, and then you just start hearing violin music coming from his room.
Oh, I'm going to cry. Yeah, this is Nova's face the entire time she hears it while she's like doing her shit. She's like, found another one. I'm so proud
More
of
he
him.
can actually take with him a bit. Okay. Cool. I think I'm done. She plays the violin for the rest of this 10 day.
Just constantly.
he
doesn't stop.
He experiments with having his mage hand hold it, so that he can like gesticulate, or maybe just like having the hand hold the bow. Like he tries to like see if he can do a little thing with that.
Hand-eye coordination with 3 hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mert said that he was going to send Romalia to talk to you guys if there was any point, or at some point in the near future, just if there was anything that you needed from her. He was basically like, she's going to be your contact. If you need things from her, if you have any questions, she's going to touch base with you. So I will say that it is very likely towards the end of the 10 day, probably on the 12th or so, which is the second day of the second week. You guys are probably puttering around doing your thing just earlier in the day, probably early afternoon, 12 to like 2 p.m. basically. She will arrive. She is do you guys remember what he told you about her at all? Her name is Romalia Haventree. He told you that she is a noblewoman from House Ulbrinter, Ulbrinter, and that assassins killed her husband, and ever since she has been a really helpful force for the Harpers. Using her position as a noblewoman in the city to help garner information as it comes and as is needed. Basically acting as a spy for Mert, using her position. Kind of very similarly to Raynar.
And that she would, I think this may have been a different person, but he said someone might be able to sell us like scrolls and magic items.
Yeah, he said that very specifically just the Harpers in general would be able to provide you guys with some assistance, but that Romalia could kind of be your contact if you can't I know you guys have been using like Raynar as your contact, but like as far as like getting things I'm going to the page in the book. Give me just a second. Please, where are you? There it is. Harpers, where are you? That they can provide things like, lower level scrolls and like uncommon potions and things like that for discounted prices that you might not necessarily be able to find in magic shops or herbalist shops or anything like that here in Waterdeep. And that Romalia could offer you guys information and even potentially temporary shelter if you needed it.
Okay, so we don't have to keep on endangering the snow beetles.
And rainy.
But I will say that she shows up on the 12th, which, like I said, is the second day of the second week. She is a elf. She's an elven woman. She's a sun elf. So she's got like Warcraft elf ears, like super, super long elf ears. A wavy sort of strawberry blonde hair. And she doesn't dress very typically as you see nobles in the city dress, wearing gowns and things like that. She's wearing very like high quality clothing, but mostly she's wearing just like a kind of like a button-up shirt that she's got unbuttoned a little bit with the sleeves rolled up, and she's got high-waisted pants and just boots that she's wearing. She's not super dressed up or fancy or anything like that.
She's practical.
Exactly.
Looks good.
Exactly. So she's got her hair kind of pulled back in a really high ponytail, and her hair is super long, so the ponytail, even though it's very high, kind of comes down to her shoulder blades. She has very, very angular features in like her jawbone and her cheekbones, but she's got more rounded like nose, more rounded lips, almond-shaped eyes. She kind of just steps in. If you guys are doing something when she comes in, she very patiently stops and waits and doesn't interrupt or anything like that. She just waits for you guys to acknowledge her presence as you are able.
I mean, I feel like I would low-key be in that little performance area, and I'm like shaking my butt, practicing my pan flute with my fairy, and then I turn around. I'm not embarrassed at all. I'm just like, hi!
Hello. You look like you're having fun.
I am. I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty good at playing the pan flute.
It sounded like you were... Have you been practicing?
Yeah, for like 7 days.
So you're a prodigy then.
Pretty much. Yeah, they're gonna have me perform for the Black Staff soon.
Well, that's quite an honor.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Is it like daytime, like pre-opening time?
Yeah, it's like 1 p.m.-ish.
Did you have any like particular business? Because we don't usually open for drinks and food until like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Well, I came to introduce myself.
Ooh.
My name's Romalia.
Oh! Alright. Can I say that I've gotten my earring back from Raynar by the time they took Ottaway?
Yes,
Get out of my ear. 1 second. Hey, everybody, come downstairs. Romalia's here.
Okay, be there in 1 minute. I come down.
Violin music stops. Sir comes down. Hello?
Hello.
Hi!
Hi.
Pleasure to meet you. Romalia.
You all can call me Remy. I much prefer it to my full name. It's far too stodgy.
Alright. Pleasure to meet you, Remy. My name is Sir, Ace to my friends, which I hope that we can be.
Hi.
Matt sent me this way to introduce myself. Are you Nova?
I am Nova. Nice to meet you.
Hello. And Talis.
Well, if you already know who I am, then yeah, I won't tell you one of my pseudonyms.
So, I came to introduce myself. Seems like we might be working together for the near future. But I was to answer any questions you had if you had them.
Well, things have been a little bit suspiciously quiet on our end, I believe. What with how busy things had gotten within the last day.
We went a whole 10-day without anyone trying to murder us that we know of. That is a new pre-Troll Skull Alley record.
Oh, it is.
Well, hopefully we can keep it to more than a 10-day.
That would be nice.
It would be very nice. Well, we had spoken with Mert about how we were trying to make sure that we can be of use and find use with everything that seems to be going on with this cult business. Don't know what sort of feelers have been put out or whether or not there's been any progress with it. Where we wanted to wait and hear word because we may be leaving the city for a time, possibly. We're not sold on it. So we wanted to just see how things were going.
Yeah.
Before we possibly ended up not being available in case we needed to do something for your group.
Well, if you need to leave the city, I can. We have people that I can be putting in places so that you can complete your business. It sounds like Matt, or at least Reyna, is very fond of you. So,
And we're very fond of him.
He is a very, very good man. As far as figuring out what is going on, we've at the very least got eyes on the Castellantas. It seems like you had a bit of suspicion there.
Yeah.
Aye, we did.
Especially, specifically, I am one of those eyes. Given the position that I have in the city, I can keep a relatively close eye on them, but we do have people in the shadows as well. Either they're not a suspicion or they're very good at pretending they're not, because so far we have not seen much in the way of activity that is suspicious. Is there anything in particular you might have as far as insights goes to what we should be looking for?
Well, if we're to believe that the other parties involved with all this devilry are like connected in some way, then it seems to be a network that spans like various classes within the city, and they're very good at hiding and being scary.
I mean, we wouldn't have figured out what we had known about the Grauhoon family if we hadn't been in essentially the Lord and Lady's personal bedchamber. I mean, it was very close to the chest,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yes, the nobility of this city are very good at keeping secrets.
I wonder if they had a similar means as the Grauhoons of keeping those secrets. Like a book or something that they keep hidden.
Possibly, and I mean, I don't think that they're necessarily having cult meetings once a week, so they probably, if they need to communicate with each other, if they are communicating with each other, which it seems like they would, because the Grauhoons did not seem to be any sort of kingpin situation,
Right.
that figuring out the means by which they communicate would be a good place to try and look, and possibly outside of just their estate. I know that Victoria is a very religious man, and I'd hate to think that there's corruption within the temples, but you know, where's the place that you would least expect there to be devil worship activity than in a temple? So possibly
It's a good
outside
front.
of the town.
Didn't they have tiny men, like tiny invisible men? Like I have a tiny invisible man, but like mean invisible men. Because there was a couple days there where I was really paranoid, and I was every room I went in, I was like,
The creature. That's right. I never saw them myself. You mean the creatures that you fought?
Yeah, yeah.
mm. Yeah, the
I
creature.
know, but you knew them to be spined devils.
Spined devils.
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 So they're actually able to bring
They
devils.
they either had a portal or they just summoned them with their magic. If they're
They were just
clerics of
So
Okay. That's good to know.
or the vile creatures.
I don't even necessarily know how involved necessarily Lady Castellanta is involved, but there's definitely, I think, a lot of suspicion towards Victoro, just in the nature of which he keeps himself.
What about him derives suspicion for you? And she is actually taking notes at this point.
I only spoke with the man. I didn't even speak with the man, is actually the thing. They came here and they made a point of introducing themselves to us specifically, which I don't think I need to say is
Unique.
most of the yeah.
They're the only
Most
noble
of the other
family to
nobility
actually
didn't.
do so, and all the other nobles that have come in here don't make a point of introducing themselves, especially when they see the
They're here to
company
drink.
keep. Yeah.
And you don't think that was them being friendly?
I mean, it could have been. I would like to think that they were being friendly, but with all the circumstances as they are, it is a bit weird that they specifically sought us out.
The day before our house got fireballed.
Yeah.
The timing of it was suspicious, and I mean, in actuality, I think it is very friendly, because I think that being friendly is a way to cast off suspicion. They're so nice, they're so polite, why would they ever be capable of doing something like that? But Victoro barely interacted. So either this was something that he was forced to do by his wife, which
It's a possibility.
I suppose is a possibility, but I don't like to simply rely on my guts for things, but I do trust it to a certain extent, and I know you do. He had an air about him like, for anything that he would say, his words were carefully chosen, and he was thinking of other things rather than what he was saying. He seems like a man that has...
He watches instead of, like, speaking about how great he is, like some nobility might do. He seems like he observes instead of speaking.
If there was anyone that was good at hiding what he was doing, I would place it on that man. The fact that I can't give you more is
In
almost
itself, a reason.
exactly for such a powerful
they're
family.
squeaky clean. Actually, I did get his handkerchief thrown into the Jade Dancer. But other than that, that wasn't even him. That was me.
That was me.
I get credit
I
for
did that. He didn't do that.
That was
I
me
did that.
and a 7-year-old. We did that. Right under his nose, right at that booth, right over there.
Good on you.
But other than that, which is totally fake, there's really, like, we don't know anything, and it doesn't seem like you know anything. Like, at least the Gralhoons, they had, like, the wrestling mat, and, like, the devil stuff, and the book about, like...
A wrestling mat.
Oh,
my God.
tell us. Do you want to tell her what you found?
Oh my
I'll
God.
explain the office, and I'll explain the book that we later, like, poured through and found out that they have, like... It said they have tieflings from, like, 100 or 200 years ago in the Growlhund family.
Yep.
And that they keep randomly showing up.
Yeah, and that they get sent to Yartar, like the daughter who's gone.
Yeah, they get sent to Yartar. They had robes. They had amulets, but like it was like a family secret book that
they had locked, and there were ghosts inside of it.
And there was ghosts inside of it.
It was a ghost book.
Ghost book.
Because
A book's not gonna hurt you, and I'm like,
And then it did.
And then it did.
Well, it sounds like Mr. Calhoun was not happy in his marriage in the slightest.
A baby.
That would
She was
explain
yelling.
why he gave up his wife so simply in the investigation, yes. But
Yeah.
I mean, his personal, like, activities, that's like, those ones are fine, but then there's, like, the other personal activities that are, like, devil god, devil family, that's, like, a little more concerning. No offense, sir. You're not my devil family.
Jesus.
Well,
you're just gonna have Sir experience some microaggressions right here in our home.
Well.
No. Anyway,
I'm not saying that out loud, but...
I know it's not a lot, but because we are going to be within the home, I believe, for catering to the twins' birthday.
Well, that's a good position to be in.
In your position, have they sent out invitations?
They have. I've been invited.
That's good.
Then that is a good place for us to both be.
Yeah.
Do we want to check in with them and see if they've decided on us as caterers and party planners before we go and let them know that we are leaving? Or do we want them to not know immediately but that we're leaving?
How long are you planning on being gone?
Going to Baldur's Gate.
Are you traveling by the trade road, or are you going by ship?
I think
We
What's
would most
faster?
likely go by ship.
ship's faster, right?
Ship is faster. Yes.
Wait.
It's about a little under a month to get there by the road, and about 4 days by ship. So
Yeah, so maybe like
Sure.
2 weeks tops is as far as as long as we'll go.
okay, fair enough. Let me look at my calendar that I've got here on my desk right now, and I will.
How long is the journey from here to there by boat?
4 days.
Oh, okay.
4
sweet,
days.
'cause
So we could do
we
like a
need
week.
time to do
We
whatever
need
the
a
task
couple
is.
days to do whatever the hell we're doing.
I would say plan on 2 10-days. So
That's
we
what-
will maybe
yeah.
have like 1 full 10-day before this party.
Yeah.
Like if things go really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like
That's why I
before
said
everything.
like a 2-week cushion and then a week
Is that-
before.
So 10 days before the party is the 10th of. I'm sorry, the 5th. The 5th of Uktar.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is
We have this
currently-
month.
We have time, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the event, if you and us and possibly your other agents are present at this event, the Castellantas will have to be present to host. It would be probably the most opportune time to look more closely into their personal effects to ascertain whether or not they're actually involved in this sort of business. Because as I said before, we would not have found out what we found out about the Grahoons if we had not found the evidence within their personal bedchambers. It's that closely kept.
And understandably so, if they are worshipping devils and demons and the like we expect, it's definitely not something that you want out in the open.
Did we want to either like right now while we're gone consider the Bramble kids route of additional investigating? Oh, Romelia, here, look, I can do this! And I show her Bramble, and then he goes invisible, and then he comes back. This is my tiny man, his name's Bramble.
That's incredible. Hello, Bramble. And Bramble, hi!
Do we want to try to use that?
Yeah, we could potentially
mean,
use that.
yeah.
I think I could at least get him into the house through them.
I mean,
And if we go and like talk to them beforehand, then like, you know, maybe I can like talk to the kids, be like, "What do you want to do at this party? Like, what theme do you want? Do you want to be like dragons or like sea monsters
a
or
good
like
idea.
fairies?"
That's a good idea.
And then like try to like plant the seeds with them, because like that situation's concerning in and of itself. Like they seem really happy, but like I don't know, like, are they all right?
Yeah, it makes me nervous for the kids for sure.
Were the children there when they came to introduce themselves?
Yeah, they're
What
pretty
was
cool.
okay, so your impressions, that's what I was going to ask, is what your impressions of the children were, because there are generally clear-cut signs.
Can I do a passive insight check on the children by memory?
Oh, I mean, I can just tell her I was playing with them for like
Yeah,
I was
okay.
literally in the, yeah, I mean, if you want to, you can.
Just from what I've seen, I don't know what Tels has seen.
Well, they really loved telling their mom like everything, and they checked with her about everything, but they weren't like scared to like ask their mom for things or tell their mom things. They like confided in her. Azavel is like someone else, isn't she? That's some other.
Isabel was the woman that you
Elzarina.
delivered the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elzarina is the daughter. She's a little bit more quiet, but she's very sweet. And then the son, he is a little bit more rambunctious, but still a really good kid.
Okay, so not necessarily something that points you to believing that they are being mistreated, which is good at the very least.
Super happy.
As much as I don't like what I'm about to say, children are generally more impressionable they observe quite a bit, and they learn from their parents, even passive things that their parents might not necessarily intentionally be teaching them. Questioning the children carefully, I mean, not outright saying, do your parents worship a devil, because I'm sure they would know, but you might be able to question them in such a way that you get information that might be helpful.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll need... I don't know what's gonna happen in Baldur's Gate, and if I need Bramble, I'm gonna have to, like, summon him back, but for the time being, I can try to leave him at the house.
Okay, that's not necessarily a bad idea. Okay, make some notes here.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. At least for until we're sure we need Bramble where we're at. I think for the time being, that's a good place to start. At least get Bramble familiar with their routine.
And we also, I mean, we have Hickory. Hickory can't go invisible, but he can do, like, a lot of the things that Bramble can do, so if we need something that is less sneaky while we're in Baldur's Gate, we can try to pass that off to, if Hickory consents, we can, do that.
Yeah. I don't know how much is going to be ascertained without being able to either monitor them over a long period of time, which we do have some time maybe, or being able to get much more closer and dig much deeper. And then, of course, if we're wrong, then it is very bad. But I feel like if it's not one thing, there's something.
At the very least, we have this as potential, like, main thread. And I know what that lady looks like now, so I can show it off. And if something happens and she's spotted there, then we know that other things are, like, going on tangentially. But she was weird.
I'm sorry we don't have more.
It's fine. Any information helps, honestly. Is there anything else that I should know that you want eyes on for this situation? I am reporting to Mert as far as things go, but you all have been kind of in the thick of it, so I think your information is a bit more valuable.
I mean, if you happen to, like, spot any, like, Zentarum agents there, just, like, if they're doing any weird stuff, like, I mean, I just want to know, but I'm not, like, oh, I gotta, yeah.
I'll keep an eye out.
Honestly, we're kind of keeping it, we were involved with all of them, all of it, in some way or another. Sanathar, those, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you need from me? I'm here getting information from you, of course, but I'm supposed to be kind of your liaison with the Harpers. More than Raynar is. I know Raynar's been very helpful to you, but I am doing so in a more official, professional sense.
Probably some healing potions.
Okay.
Somebody to watch the tavern, or just check on it.
Okay,
Maybe.
I can get someone over here to keep eyes over here as well. How many potions do you need? And of what strength?
Sir actually has a regular one.
I don't have any.
I have one regular potion of healing.
Yeah, I use.
Oh,
I don't have
Wait,
any.
why do I have two in my inventory?
Because you used my healing potions to bring me back up. Because you went in.
You went into her inventory when she was shot.
So I would like at least 2 to 3.
Of what strength? Healing, like just a regular healing potion, or I can get greater healing potions as well.
I don't know if we need
Discounted costs, but
How much are the greater?
normally a greater is going to be about 200. I can get it to you for about 125.
I think just the regular is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you want
Yeah.
one of these 2 regulars back that I have, Christy?
I mean, it's fine. I can just buy 2 here. So then at least
Okay,
we'll
then
both
I'm-
have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm good then.
Yeah, I'll just get 2 regulars. Because it's
Okay. I can hunt that down for you. I can get them to you. They're normally about 50 gold each. I can get them to you for 20 each, so 40 total for 2.
Okay.
And
I will have her 40
Then-
gold.
Okay.
we seem to get in one of 2 situations, either an infiltration or combat.
Sometimes chases too.
Sometimes chases. I feel like I have the means by which to handle combat and chases, but I feel a little bit lacking in the subterfuge department. If there were, I've been taking study with the use of scrolls. If there were items or spells that I may be able to use that would allow me to better help my companions with infiltration or investigation of some sort, so that we can figure out things.
Okay, I can take a peek at what I have access to and perhaps bring you something. It's going to vary in price, yes.
Yeah. So like ideas out of context of game, because Sir doesn't know all of these spells, but like things I was thinking about are like, because he can't normally do like disguise self, so little subtle things, nothing like to hurt people. I'm thinking like silent spells, disguise self, or maybe a knock, because he can't lockpick. Things along those lines.
Lockpick?
I'm saying he can't. If this was a means where you weren't available, and he needs to get through a door or open handcuffs or something like that, quickly, things like that. Or I don't even know if wizards can do a clairvoyance, but that might be good for Nova. So information gathering, infiltration kind of spells or items.
Yeah. I will take a peek. About how much gold are you wanting to spend total? Because it depends on the strength of the spell.
Right.
So to give you kind of an idea of what I can give you. Let me open up my.
Because the stronger the spell, the more possibility that I simply fail in its execution.
Yes,
anyway.
and it will also be a bit more expensive. I can get you the lowest level spell scrolls for 15 gold each, and I can get you the next level up for 50 gold each.
Okay. I have currently in pocket about 150. We may have additional funds from our business.
I can help.
Actually, though, do you know of, I don't know, is it a spell or potion or item that would allow me to better cast my spells?
In what context?
When I speak with what I've seen from, I don't use wands or any manner of such as that, but as my teacher's been explaining to me, like just a fundamental understanding of magic and study and application of intellect is what allows one to use the magic more effectively. Is there some sort of tonic that clears the mind, or some sort of item that would allow me to more easily use these scrolls, or something of that nature?
I could look into what I have access to. Are you looking for something that might calm your emotions, so to speak, to allow you to have a bit more of a clearer head? Is that sort of what you're thinking?
If it would allow for something that would be able to supplement my current, I'm still studying, something that could supplement my possible lack of study.
Okay. There's nothing that I have off the top of my head, but I have a few different magic item dealers that I can speak with and see if there's something that they have an idea of.
Okay.
And I can potentially bring that back. That will be a bit more in regards to funds, but I can give you kind of an idea when I get back in prices and we can go from there.
That is a perfect starting point,
okay.
And I will adjust as need be. Thank you.
I will bring back, we'll call it just a variety of different scrolls, and then you can mix and match and decide what you want to spend in regards to that. We won't pull anything solid for now. You can just decide when I come back with the potions.
And, of course, the Three of Cups is... He looks like before he fully says this, at your disposal.
Yeah, if you want to get wasted.
Well, I mean, we do. Yes,
if you want to get wasted.
We have rooms. We have rooms to provide shelter for agents, possibly, or protection of agents, and also a lot of our clientele are of noble status. So if there's someone that the Harpers would like information on, possibly we can assist you in that manner.
Okay, good to know.
Especially
the Three of Cups is at the disposal.
Yeah, especially if we're going to be gone for about 2 weeks, in conjunction to having someone watch the place. Maybe it could be like a refuge if you need it.
Okay.
While we're going.
Yeah, like if anyone needs to take a mental health day, they can go up in my room, and in the tower there's some very lovely herbs. And because I've kept the windows closed, yeah, there's a hookah bar. The herbs are still fresh, so they can get some aromatherapy going up there.
And, there is, if they end up needing it, I've had a secret compartment hidden in my room. I don't know if he's told you guys that. For means of stowing away possibly items that need to be hidden for a time. So there are means by which we can assist the Harpers.
Okay, I will make sure that I pass that along to Mert to see if there's anything that he needs you to do, if there's any way that we can utilize the Three of Cups.
2 more things.
Okay.
Do you know anyone who's like in Baldur's Gate who's like really cool in case we need help?
Ooh, like a Harper contact.
We're amazing, and my pan flute skills will get us through any troubles, but...
I do, in fact, know of someone in Baldur's Gate that could be of assistance. She's not a member of the Harpers by any means. The Harpers have agents in Baldur's Gate, but not necessarily so much as a foothold or a headquarters, so to speak, because the Baldur's Gate itself is under the jurisdiction, I guess is the best word that I can think of, but it's not an official jurisdiction, of the guild, which is, for all intents and purposes, and in the easiest way to explain, a thieves guild that operates out of Baldur's Gate. There is one contact that I can put you in contact with. You can find them in Little Calamshan in the outer city towards the west in the city. Her name is Rilsa.
Nice.
She has a consignment shop called the Callum Jewel Emporium in Little Calamshan in the outer city.
All right.
And then the second question, Remy, if you could become any flower for the rest of your life, what flower would you become?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I would say that I would probably become a Gerber Daisy.
Not what I expected. Nice.
No?
I thought sunflower.
I like sunflowers too.
If there's anything you need from us, or that you want us to take care of in Baldur's Gate or something, just let us know.
That's
Is
true.
there any particular reason you said you're going to Baldur's Gate to get? Did you tell her the anonymity?
No, I think we just told her that we were just
No,
going.
we just said that we would. I don't even know if I said Baldur's Gate, but it's out now. Said that we might be leaving the city for some time.
When we had mentioned it, I think in passing, like.
Why is there any reason that you guys are heading to Baldur's Gate?
Just like see some sights, get some cool imports for the tavern.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It could end up becoming a trip of multiple reasons. It's
Well, if you tell Rilsa, if you ever run into her or you seek her out at all, if you tell her that I sent you, she will be of any assistance that you need.
all right. Good to know.
Thanks, Remy.
Thanks, Remy.
Thank you.
Of course.
And it was nice to get to meet you on a personal level, outside of simply business.
I have an estate in the Seaward, the Oberonta estate, towards the north of the Seaward if you need anything else, or you can pop a message my way before you leave.
All right. We will be in touch.
So she closes the little notebook she's taking notes in, and with a very warm smile, she will leave.
I think we're finally starting to have more friends than enemies. Now, if more of our enemies could just sort of drop dead, that would be wonderful. But making more friends is also a way to tip the scales.
I hope so.
Oh! There's something that I want to try later. Not right now, though. I was kind of, hungry for breadsticks. And I wanted to try breadsticks a new way.
Okay.
But I don't know if Sir would like breadsticks this way, so I wanted him to try. I wanted to prepare my breadsticks this way and have him try it.
Well,
Okay.
I've been making sure to keep breadsticks nearby as of late. So, is this something that you said not now, later?
Oh, I mean, we just had a guest, and I think, like, when we're feeling the family three-way energy, the sanctity of
No,
the
wait, hold on, no, hold on,
the
hold on.
triumvirate.
You cannot keep on saying a sentence after. Don't ever say that again. Don't ever refer to it like that again.
That's the triumvirate, the Three of Cups.
There we go. Alright.
Later.
I want to ask you two. It's been a 10-day.
Mm.
Are we going to Baldur's Gate? And if so, when?
I'm okay to go whenever, if we feel like this is the best means of getting stuff for the breadsticks.
And while we were speaking with Remy, my mind started thinking about the Castellantas and the birthday party. And Nova,
Yeah.
a birthday celebration is in a way a holiday, just for a very specific group of people.
Mm-hmm. Worried about
What?
prophecy?
Doesn't that make every day a holiday then?
Yes, but that's sort of the point. Nova and I kept on thinking that it was going to be some sort of officially recognized holiday in the city. But if our suspicions of Victoro, with what we've learned of him,
Should we have brought
means
that
anything.
up? That stuff with that monk guy that told you that. Should we have brought that up? I wasn't even there.
There's- I don't know if it necessarily, because we can't have everyone in the city on guard for every holiday, but now the connection of them to a very specific date is becoming more realized, and so I'm worried because that is our best chance to figure out anything, but I'm also worried if that is too late. And I wanted to know if that's something that you can pull a card for.
Let's pull a card. Either
And I
Chell's
will
going to tell me
believe
a
in-
card, or you're going to roll a D100 for me, BB.
I'll roll a D100 for you then. Let's believe in the
Heart
real
of the
magic
cards.
of your cards. I have rolled a 99.
Oh, 18!
Okay, so pick a number between 1 and 18 then, BB.
13. Unlucky number 13.
While Nova's like communing with her deck and like interpreting the card, and like Talus will sit there very patiently beside Sir, but then she's gonna like casually bring her hand up to her mouth and then immediately wet willy him and cast Thought Shield because she forgot to do it earlier.
Oh!
Cast.
At first you get a wet willy, but then you're like, this guy did stuff to ya.
It's so useful, but I'm 95% sure that is not how you have to do that spell.
Oh, not at all. That's just how I decided to do it today. It's just about like the vibe, you know? If the vibes are prank, then we prank. If the vibes are be cute, then we're cute.
I know that I'm not like too much older than you, but what is with all of the vibe stuff?
So like the energy, like, you know,
The atmosphere?
yeah. But it's like it's not the atmosphere, it's like a feeling. It's just a feeling that I wake up with in the morning, and if that's the feeling of how I'm gonna do it that day, that's what I do.
The feeling I wake up with in the morning is a headache. Most of the time.
You should probably
Hitting my
get
horns
to,
on things in my sleep.
should get to bed earlier. Why don't you carve yourself like a headboard that has like a little horn rest in it? Or like a padded circle that's like of an appropriate diameter that if you turned either way, like your horns would be accommodated by. Is
Or
this
just don't have a headboard.
Yeah. I was about to ask.
Yeah, he's sitting there, he's like, I
that.
could cut off my headband. I'm like starting to realize I was most comfortable when we slept in a tent. And that is probably because there was no headboard.
Why don't you like wrap a little like cloth around them so that they're like nice and squishy?
They need to be filed is what it is. Do you know what it's like to wake up and do you know what it's like to wake up in a body that you don't fully understand, and then there's like a whole different like upkeep?
Why don't you carve them like you carve wood? And then we live.
Because you want me to do that in like a mirror? Like that would be very difficult to. I would maybe do it. That sounds cool, but if I mess it up, that's sort of like it's attached to my head. I don't know if these things grow back. I don't actually know what it's like to be a teacher.
Nova's like actually making right now. I'm just like,
okay. Because we're just talking to like fill the time.
You're
needed to, like,
fine.
get
You're
inside.
fine.
let me roll an insight check to see if I notice. I stop. I put my hand up to your mouth, and my head just like whips around. Nova, what is it?
Well, in regards to the party, I pulled the reversed Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
Bad luck, resistance to change, breaking cycles. Okay. When the Wheel of Fortune is reversed, your luck and fortune may take a turn for the worse. You may experience unexpected change or negative forces that could be at play, leaving you helpless. You have a choice. You can do nothing and hope things get better, or you can act to improve your situation. See the moment as your opportunity to take control of your destiny and get your life back on track. Changing your destiny starts with accepting responsibility for where you are now. It can also reflect a resistance to change, particularly if it feels forced upon you. Change could be a significant source of stress. You may be subconsciously or consciously trying to stop events from running their course. Accept that change is inevitable and you must improve the experience and go with the flow. On the positive side, the reverse Wheel of Fortune might mean that you are finally breaking a negative cycle which has been present in your life. Perhaps you have realized the actions you have created are a repetitive situation and you can now break free from the cycle.
Is it just me, or does that sound like it applies more to those ideas we had when we ate that really good breadstick? As opposed to just, like, about us? Am I the only one picking that up?
Yeah.
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 It feels like this doesn't necessarily speak fully from our perspective of the events that are going to take place or could take place.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
It says
I was
it
thinking
says
about the
it's time to
party,
act.
but yeah, the cards, they tell you what you need to know, and I guess this is something we need to know. I don't know if it's from our perspective or from Victoro's or who.
Someone needs to do something. We can't let that just be a regular catering.
I think we should maybe... Do we want to check in with them? Be like, hey, like, we're going to Baldur's Gate. Anything you want for the party? Are we still on?
That might be a good idea. Like, if we say we're going on the guise of, like, preparations.
And like, you know, and then that way, like, if it's a yes, then at the very least we can still get the staff, like, you need to put these orders in, here's the funds for it, like,
Yeah.
and we can leave the head chef and, like, the head bartender, like, for a couple days to manage all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry,
I think, yeah. I think perhaps we do meet with the Castellantas and then go.
Secure passage. Have you gotten that figured out?
There may be some favors that I can pull with some of the guys to make this a little bit easier, but they can also be a little bit salty folks, so it could go either way, but I think that I might have a couple advantages.
Alright.
We'll check in with them, get the stuff from Remy, and then once those two things are done, staff all squared up.
Yeah.
I think
Go.
we're pretty squared up, yeah. We're at least until we know what's happening. And at least then, if we're gonna go stop by the Castellaners, we could leave Bramble there.
Yeah.
Leave Bramble there. And that'll give Remy time to gather supplies for us before the party, and then we just need to make sure that we're taking everything that we need on the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. Also, it seemed like there's a lot of things that we might be getting from Remy. I got some money because Istrid left. A good bit of money. I was gonna save it because I think we still owe Devil like 1,000 gold. I don't even know anymore, but I don't want to just assume that it's gone. But I think dealing with this immediate issue is really important. So if any of you need extra money to get things, just let me know, and I've got some.
I have about 300 gold, roughly.
And the breadstick, although I said that I would try to keep it from being put in the cabinet when we go to the Castellantas.
Sometimes the very crunchy, stale breadsticks that have sat in the cabinet are honestly, better in a way. You let them toast for a little bit in the oven.
So I think we should put it in the cabinet before we go to the Castellantas, and then possibly while we're in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of which, can I see the breadstick now really quick? I don't even know if this is gonna work, but I want to try something.
Yeah, he keeps Galore on his person
Okay.
currently. So
do you let Tal, if Talis holds out her hands, will you like let her hold it?
yeah, I mean, to be able to converse with Galore, you need to.
I don't want to
spend
talk to him. I don't like him. He's a jerk.
Fair enough. I hand Galore to her.
What is she doing?
Okay, so I'm
I don't
gonna try. I literally I don't know if this will work because the Galore is a weirdo. I'm gonna do like, you know how like people will do like the hand tricks of like they have a coin and then they go like, and then the coin is like gone. I'm going to do that with Galore and cast Invisible Object on it.
Okay.
It says one non-living object that weighs 25 pounds or less, rendered invisible, concentration up to 1 hour. I can choose to make it the invisibility on or off. If you use it to attack.
That's a spell I made.
Oh, it is?
This might be from our content sharing on D&D Beyond. I don't know if this is real.
Oh. Okay, then never mind.
Tel can double check.
Yeah, I don't know.
It may not be.
If it's not real, then retcon all of this. Retcon this entire thing.
Let me take a quick peek.
Because I did not know.
That's that might be because my content sharing is on and we're in a campaign together. I don't know.
Because I don't see. It doesn't say the source on character things at all for any spell.
I believe that is a spell I created.
Rip. Never
You
mind.
might be able to he might count as a creature, and you might be able to cast regular invisibility on him.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing it come up in.
No,
it doesn't have a source, which means it is a homebrew spell. But I read through it, and I don't see a reason why you can't use it.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah, because
So you can keep it as a spell if you'd like. You don't have to take it away.
Yeah, since we've gone through like a couple days, like this one spell that I initially changed, since we're now like 10 days later, I changed like one again. But yeah, like if I can do invisible object, I'm gonna do that. If not, I'll just try invisibility on it. I don't know if this invisible object's gonna work because he's a rock is also a thing.
Mechanically, like I said, that's not a spell you have to take away. Just because it's homebrew, I read through it. It's not a big deal. You can keep it. He's not a non-living object.
Okay, I wasn't the
He's a
boundary
living object.
there was like weird, so I wanted to make sure.
That's fair.
That's fair. It's a fair test.
It is a fair test. He is not necessarily considered a creature by any means. For the sake of these types of spells, I will say he is technically considered a creature, given he is an aboleth, technically. But he's not a non-living object. He is a sentient object, so...
So then you guys see the worst magic show ever of like, now you see it! Now... I'll try it tomorrow.
Oh.
Okay.
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 No, I mean,
that was a fair test.
whatever you were trying to do, I'm sure there was a good reason for it.
I thought I could make him go away.
Wait, to where?
To the Feywild. No, I'm just kidding. You know how I sometimes make myself invisible? I was gonna try to do that to him, but like, it's a different, like, there's something, I gotta... Magic is a skill that you practice, is it not right, sir? Whether it's arcane magic or the magic of misdirection, and I am lucky.
Do you know what you could do? Do you know what you might be able to get away with?
Their mother. What?
That is very rude, considering I do not know,
You don't know
who my mother is and what the state of her being is.
No mother, because she's gone with me.
I'm going to move past that and say the thing that was going to be helpful to you now. You might be able to put him in your bag and cast it on your bag.
Oh.
We could try that. I can't right now. I gotta stretch a little, do a little dance.
Technically,
Oh,
it's
so
my
like
bag,
that
but
actually
yes.
like you actually like you tried a little something.
I'm feeling my pride is a little hurt. I'm feeling a little
You need
discouraged.
about an hour to get your pride back in situation.
Yeah, like sometimes your performance just doesn't meet the expectations of the other person, and
Couldn't
you
be
need
me.
you
Don't
you
have
know,
any idea what that's about.
help with
I
that.
always perform at 100%, 110% in everything that I do.
Okay.
No,
Nova just
okay.
walks
Let's-
into the kitchen while they're arguing. She's like, okay.
Let's get ready to talk to the Castlers.
Okay.
Do we
I think that's
know?
a great
Do we
place
know
to
where
take
they
a
live?
break. Nope.
Oh yeah, it is.
We don't know where they live.
It's probably so large. Let's just look for big house.
Let's go to break.
All right, we're gonna take a roughly 7-minute-ish break, but we never listened to that, so we'll be back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Eventually-
BRB, fam. BRB. We are back.
Hi!
Hi!
I was taking a drink of my
We
Welcome
got
back.
raided while we were gone.
Yeah, thanks for the
Hi,
raid!
everybody.
20 cents every 40, thank you.
Yes, thank you, 20 sides.
Welcome back to Waterdeep Dragon Heist Resurfaced. We just took a little bit of a break to refresh and have a little bit of a chat about ongoings of the game, but we are back now to pick up where we left off unless anybody has anything that they want to say.
Well, let's get into it.
No, I think we're ready to go to those next...
Didn't you have something you wanted to say on stream, Victoria? What were you thinking?
I will say it when it's relevant.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Ooh,
In the back
okay.
pocket.
Oh no.
So we need to find out where the Castellanters live.
Yes, you do. Which you do not know. I need to turn my camera for a second. Which you guys do not know, but you can go either choose to ask around or search yourself. You do know kind of with these nobility types, they tend to have estates or manors and okay, hopefully that works. Estates or manors, generally with, like, for example, Raynar's estate, there's the Never Ember name, like, over the fence or over the gate, things like that. So you can go look around if you want, or you can actually just ask anybody. Whatever's up to you. Gotta shake my yoo-hoo.
I can ask somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I run behind in an alley and I come out looking like a posh noble lady,
Okay.
Oh,
a human, and I go up to a guard or city watch person
Okay.
and I am going to say, excuse me,
Yes, what can I do for you? He
I
says,
was
not looking at you.
I feel a bit turned around right now. Could you point me in the direction of the Castellanter estate? I've been invited for tea.
If you've been invited for tea, shouldn't you know where you're going?
Well, I'm actually visiting from Luskin. My name is Lady Torres. I'm not too familiar with the city, and I find myself a bit confused here.
Especially from the nobility of the city, we're not generally supposed to tell you where they live. As you can imagine, that might come across as too much information, especially to individuals who might not want the best for them. So I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to help you at this time.
Bam, do I charm person this guy?
I'm.
Rip. I tried.
Are you going to charm him? Charming a.
No.
Hi, this is your little code legal fairy. Charming
I
the
know.
Code legal
watch is a Charming the city watch is a punishable offense.
I could bribe him. That's also an offense.
Do you want to do? You can do whatever you want, but we can also just look for a big sign that says Castellanter or a crest on a gate or something like that if you want.
Okay, I spin in a circle until I get dizzy, and then whichever way I'm pointing, I just start walking that way and say, goodbye! And then I just go away to my friend.
Okay.
I tried.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. They didn't give us a means to contact them when we said that we were interested in catering, did they?
They told you that they would keep in
They
touch.
would be in touch.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate
like,
when people do that.
I feel like when they say that, that kind of can mean like you can go and just be like,
Well, we could start with the biggest houses and kind of go down from there.
Sure.
yeah, I don't think they told us where they live.
Really
They'll
quick,
probably have guards up front.
let me get a history check from all three of you.
Okay.
Probably bad.
Sir's
9.
smart today. 16.
12.
Sir, you've noticed with the nobility of the city that they tend to stick to the North Ward and the Sea Ward as far as where their estates are. So that at least gives you a starting point to look.
Alright.
So are you just taking a peek around the city?
North Ward or Sea Ward? Which is like, I feel like Sea Ward, if I remember correctly, like North Ward is like nobles, but then like I feel like Sea Ward is like the families of Waterdeep.
Yeah, that's like the big glitzy place, I think.
Why don't we check the Sea Ward for? Well, I mean the North Ward is closer, so because we're in the north, we're like close to the North Ward, but I think that they're in the Sea Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's just go on an adventure.
To the Sea Ward.
Wait, is our dray driver friend around? Dock Ward. Silas. Is he in the North Ward? I feel like he would know where that is.
I mean, we could use a paper crane. That's how we
already
found
thinking
everyone
that.
else in the city.
I'm not using my last one. I'm keeping it for an emergency.
I have some available if you want me to do that.
It'll make it faster. We could, yeah.
John, this will hurt on it.
Can you send Hickory up to at least keep an eye on it? Because it's going to go faster than we can keep up.
That is also true, and it'll probably bang against a window, so maybe I'll have him eat it too. It doesn't need to actually get to Victoro. We just need to know what house it is.
Alright.
So are you using one of your paper cranes?
Yeah, I'll use one of them.
The most useful magic item in this whole diddly darn campaign.
Yeah.
You guys have found a lot of really creative uses for it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you go ahead and you write which of the Castellanters' names, or just the Castellanters.
Yo, send it to their kids.
I mean, well, here's the thing, right? If Victoro's not home, it'll take us to him. If we want to be at the house, we should try and focus on someone who's more likely to be at the house.
I think we want to go to the house, don't we?
Yeah. If do I know if I just write Castellanters, it will go to like anyone?
I mean, it needs to be a specific
Or
person.
does it have to be a specific person?
It generally has to be a specific person.
No, address that to Elzarina, a little 7-year-old. She's like, hey, girl.
No, wait! Oh my God! What if you were like Elzarina Castellanta? This is a letter from the fairies, and you know that also kind of gives us an in for putting Bramble with them later.
Alright.
Be like the fairies want to have a tea party.
Mm-hmm.
They want to discuss your coming birthday party and ideas that you have.
Yeah, and then if it hits a window, Picker eats it. Like,
Boom! We're the best.
Yeah.
We're so great at this.
literally, like, iron, like, clad.
Solid plan.
Proof.
Solid
Yeah.
plan.
What could
They
go
have-
wrong?
They have like a 200-foot sphere of anti-magic around their house. It just dies. It just bursts into ash like a bug zapper.
Okay, so you follow the paper crane message paper to the Castellanters Villa, addressed to their 7-year-old daughter, Elzarina.
Figured she'd be at home.
It does indeed take you out of the North Ward, further west in the city. It is very quick, however. It has a faster speed than you guys do walking. So, how are you keeping up with it?
With Hickory. Because I believe Hickory has the same speed. Or if not, Hickory can
Or at least
dash,
watch
because I
where
don't
it
think the paper
goes.
crane dashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bramble probably could, because he's technically still with us, and he has a 40-foot flying speed. So he can help out too.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
think Hickory is faster, so I mean, like, he could be... Do you want to have him ride Hickory? We always talked about it.
I thought Hickory was. Yeah. Chair. It's a steed. Duck steed.
Duck steed.
Okay. There we go. Away, familiars! Ho!
Thumbelina, let's go.
So you are able to keep up with the message as it is flying through the city with the help of your familiars. And it does indeed take you to the seaport. Until mostly it's towards the middle of the seaward, and it basically takes up its own entire street corner. You do eventually come to be outside of the Castellanter Villa. There is a gate around the villa itself. The villa itself has stark white walls with a very gleaming, sort of shiny crimson roof. There are turrets that stand out really, really, really against the other buildings of the Seaward. It's very opulent. It's 3 stories, and it lies in the middle of very, very picturesque green gardens that have hedges and water features. The estate itself is surrounded by a very tall white brick wall, so you can't see through it, with a single wrought iron gate as an entrance, posted at which are 2 guards. The family crest of the Castellanters, which is a green Y that is overlapping a stylized like goose that's being fed, is emblazoned on this wrought iron gate. There are 2 armored guards standing at attention.
All right. Talus, you wanna try your talking to people again?
Well, I mean, I couldn't have charmed them anyway, because I did 2 spells and then we immediately left. Fuck.
We could just tell them we're from the 3 of Cups and we want to discuss this.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay.
I mean, I'll say it to them if you want me to, but my performance at today has been not up to snuff.
There's a win coming. Like so. I think that you should head it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's go for a win.
And you guys did watch as that paper crane flew over the gate to the building. And actually,
if it's begging on a... Yep.
As you're looking through the wrought iron gate, looking at my map here,
we see some farm agents inside.
Yeah. So there are 3 buildings on the grounds of the Castellanter Villa. There is one that appears to be the main house with the turrets, that is almost trapezoidal in shape. There is a second building in the corner that also looks like a home, but it's significantly smaller than what appears to be the main part of the house, perhaps a guest house. And then there is a coach house in the opposite corner.
Okay.
So big house, smallish house, coach house?
Yes.
And how spaced out are they? Like how much like just open land do they have?
So there is roughly, let me look at I'll count your 5. So in front of the main house, and I can send you guys a little bit of a map here in a second. In front of the main house, the grounds itself are about 90 feet by 120 feet. And then the house is set about that 80 to 90 feet in, and then diagonal from the house is the guest house, and then directly across from that to the right is the coach house.
It's good square footage, maybe 6.5 baths.
Shut up.
We're approaching McMansion hell.
I mean, they have a water feature. They have a water feature in the yard.
They have multiple water features, in fact.
They have
Multiple water
the
features.
big window in the front of the house, and immediately inside of it is the giant gaudy chandelier that like hangs over the stairs.
You have to have the stone path, water feature, and a fire feature.
4-car garage.
Accent walls. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Back in character. Let's go up to these guards.
Yeah.
I'm quick sending you guys kind of a map of the ground so you have a better
You
picture.
know what? We should have packed like a little basket of like fake food samples. God. We're dumb. I'm dumb. I should have thought of that. Nice.
I mean, well. Remember, the story is we're asking like, are we the ones who are catering?
Oh yeah. I guess we don't even need to technically talk to them. We know where they live now, so we got what we ultimately like needed. But it would be best if we could talk to them.
Yeah.
So you're approaching the guards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. They both have glaives. And as you approach them, they both pull their glaives to the side so that they're diagonal to keep you guys from going in, and they look at you. Because the gate itself is open.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Talis, and that's Sir, and that's Nova. We own an establishment in North Ward. It's called the Three of Cups, and
We don't take solicitors here.
No, that's not what this is. Victoria and Amalia visited our tavern last month to bring us a welcome basket for opening. And we had discussed potentially catering for the twins' birthday party. We're actually going to be leaving on a little trip, and we wanted to check the status of that with them because with the time to plan an event that could potentially be large like this, and that being on the 15th of Uktar, we wanted to make sure that we had all of our plans in order, all of our ducks in a row, so to speak. We just wanted to ask if they had decided on working with us.
Have you made an appointment?
No.
Our leaving of the city has come up a little bit more earlier than normal. We were not able to set up an appointment as would normally be customary. We just know that this event is very, very important and that the Castellanters would be very upset if their plans for catering ended up falling through due to unforeseen events. So we just want to be extra sure.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Am I or Talis?
You, but you can do it with advantage if you'd like.
Persuasion. Okay, at advantage. At advantage, it's a 17.
Okay. They look to each other, and then you see him put his finger to his ear, much in the same way that you all do.
They got the
Like
Brandon.
Secret Service.
Brandon needs to get one of those.
Yeah, we need to get another one for Rainy too.
No, I mean Bramble needs to get one of theirs. Then we're on the network.
Well,
Sorry, the way that you put that.
we're on the network.
We're
on the network.
I thought you
We're
meant I'm like
tapped
so teeny tiny earring.
So many.
Yeah, I love that you were like, yeah, Bramble does need to get one of theirs. I was like, that's not what I read.
It would look good. Not that I need it, like anywhere on this plane, and we can. Yeah, they Secret Service buzz.
But that's something that we can tell Remy too, that they use those.
finger to his ear for a second. And then a second more as he listens. Someone is going to speak with the lady of the house to see if she's willing to speak with you.
Wonderful.
Thanks a million.
You stand there in uncomfortable silence. They don't talk, they don't strike up conversation. They just stand there and do their job and guard.
Is there is it just the road here? Is there like a little sidewalk? Like, is there like that nice little grassy patch that's in between the sidewalk and the road?
Yeah.
I want to go kneel in it and pick up bugs. And then if I find like a good one, I'll show it to one of the guards.
So she goes to kneel down to pick up bugs, and the guards just.
Hey, excuse me. Did you see? Look at. Have you ever seen
it?
a beetle this big?
Yes.
Have you ever seen one stag beetle and another stag beetle the fight? Have you ever seen that? I'll find another one to show you.
Okay.
I look for another stag beetle.
Then, after a moment of him listening again to a message, he says someone will be down to the gates to pick you up to bring you to the house shortly.
Wonderful.
Nice work, sir.
Sometimes he's got it.
Roughly another 10 minutes or so of waiting. Somebody does begin to walk down the path and through the trees and the shrubbery and the gardens to the doorway. They are a what appears to be a human woman. She's wearing very plain clothing, very practical clothing. She has brown hair that she's got pulled up into kind of a half ponytail at the top of her head. And she has kind of more Asian features. But she comes down to the gate. You're here to see the lady of the house.
We certainly are. We're from the.
Follow me then.
Okay. I'll follow her.
Okay. So, she takes you up the path through the grounds, which, as I have said already, immaculately cared for, manicured lawns, perfectly trimmed bushes and shrubs, a plethora of different flowers, a couple of different water features. It's very clearly the grounds of a very wealthy family. She takes you to a doorway and into a home. The doorway that you come through is actually what you could call basically a mudroom. There is a guard immediately inside that is sitting kind of idly on a crate. He is wearing the livery of the House Castellanter, so a green livery with the house crest on the front, that Y with the goose. Nods to the person who brings you through. She takes you through this room into what is clearly an entrance, the immaculate, extravagant entrance hall of the home. In this hall, there is a harpsichord that's sort of in the corner where there is a place for someone to sit and play. There is a crimson carpet that runs down the hall toward an open door to a foyer. There is a crystal chandelier from the ceiling that's reflecting.
What did I say?
You called it.
You knocked him.
You called it.
There's a crystal chandelier that is reflecting a ceiling with a few symbols on it that you. It looks like a sun, kind of, with pinwheeled sort of rays coming off of it. So there is that those are on the crystal chandelier. There are also, that symbol is over a lot of the shelves and on the wall a lot. It's carved into pillars. Yeah.
Does it appear to be like a religious symbol?
Ramir, religion check.
Yeah, we were told that that they were very devout.
Yeah.
We are not devil worshippers. We are not devil worshippers.
17?
Okay. This is the symbol. It is not the symbol to Lathander, though Lathander is also the Morning Lord, blah, blah, blah. This is actually a symbol called the Psyomorph. It is essentially the demi-power of nobles and their divine right to rule.
Okay, that's some mess. We don't like that. That's some, like...
It's essentially a vessel of divine power that's passed down to a successor when the successor is dying. The current Psyomorph is the latest in that lineage. So, by preference, the successor is a direct descendant of the previous power's mortal form, but anyone of noble blood can suffice.
There's some weird...
Is this something that's only in Waterdeep? Or is this also in Baldur's Gate?
There was a former Psyomorph that was actually a nobleman who was in Baldur's Gate, who passed the power to somebody in Waterdeep, who was chosen when she was killed in a riot. So it is essentially kind of a demigod that provides the divine right of nobility to people.
Okay.
And encourages the responsibility to rule well and wisely for the more common classes beneath them.
Is that there is only one Psyomorph? Or is it... Okay.
So if somebody has symbols to the Psyomorph, they are essentially showing reverence to a demigod or a demigoddess who it basically encourages the responsibility for people who have noble lineage to rule well.
Okay.
And to rule wisely for people beneath them.
Alright. Noted.
Her worship is most common among nobles, their counselors. It's basically a reason for nobles to... It's basically justification for nobles as to why they're in charge.
Right, okay. So, just having the symbol up here doesn't mean that the Castellanter family is the possession of the Psyomorph. This is them showing reverence to the demigod of nobility as a, like, we are good nobles, we act in the name of the Psyomorph. It's become kind of a status symbol.
Okay.
In a way for them to be like, we're not the bootlickers. No, we are great rulers who are...
We have favor.
We have favor with deities, and we're going to make sure that all the little people are great and doing well. It's not necessarily an actual god or goddess. It's called a demi-power.
Right.
But it is basically a way for nobles to be like, I'm in charge for a reason.
Okay. And it's like all over the place. There's multiple symbols.
There are multiple symbols, yeah. About a dozen. She doesn't.
As we're walking behind her, I'm not touching my earring, I'm just telepathically with my Kalashtar thing. Individually telling Ace and Talus what I know of this symbol.
You telepathically receive raspberries back.
Okay. Fair.
Sir, will actually respond back with a question. I don't know when we'll get to speak to them again. Do you have your thought detection spell?
I think that's my domain spell, so I think I do. Yes, it's my domain spell.
As per the message, he probably can't say more, but I think that conveys what he's thinking about enough.
Yeah, you kind of just see her kind of like do a little nod as she's walking. Like,
Okay.
Do I notice anyone watching us as we walk through? Like tiny purple guys.
You don't see any tiny purple guys, but there is somebody. So in the room, sorry, I have like 12 pages I'm turning between.
No, you're okay.
So there's the door that you came from, and then there's a door behind you, which appears to be kind of another front door, like maybe to the street itself, rather than through the grounds where you guys came. And then up to your left, there is another door that goes towards the west of the house. Through that door, a man steps. This man is a tiefling. Is he a tiefling? Yes, he's a tiefling, older. He's in a sharp black suit, and he's wearing very thin-rimmed glasses. Comes over to you all and says to the woman who is leading you, Olivia, you are needed in the smoking room. The man of the house has a request he has to make of you. I will be bringing you to where you will be meeting with the lady of the house. He turns to you guys and says,
Thank you very much, Olivia.
and she kind of nods her head to you, and she exits through the door that the man just came through.
And she's being requested by master of the house, so Victorio?
Yes.
In
Okay.
the smoking room, yeah.
So, once again, Victorio is not caring
Present.
to speak to us. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So he begins to lead you back through that door, actually, that she just went through, which is actually a library as you enter. You can smell like the smell of like old parchment that's very hanging super thick in the air. The walls themselves are lined with very tall shelves that are packed with super colorful leather-bound books. Each bookshelf has one of those sliding ladders so that there's more access to each of the books themselves. The shelves take up the entire southwest wall. Are not filled with books, but rather very wine-decked glass bottles that are filled with what looks like a swirling mist, and they're sealed with a cork. He walks through the library and through a door to the north. If there's anything you're doing while you're in the library, you can let me know. And as you're walking through the room as well, you do see that on the northern wall between two bookshelves, there's a gigantic 7-foot-tall portrait of both the Lord and Lady Castellanter holding 2 infant children and standing beside a teenage boy.
They have another kid.
While
They said kill him.
yeah, okay.
I'm profiling. I want his face. I want to get it.
I want to cast detect magic while he's ahead of us.
Okay. None of the books are magical.
That's fine.
However, all of the jars are.
All of the what?
The
Jars.
those
Okay.
bottles that are on that shelf instead of books,
Okay.
all of them are.
Okay.
The portrait is not magic as well. The only thing that's super magic in this room is those jars that have that swirling mist, but you could have kind of gathered that yourself, that the swirling mist was
Yeah.
probably magical.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else that like jumps out at you as being innately magical in this room.
That's okay. I'm gonna maintain it.
But the teenage boy looks to be about, I would say, 13 or 14 or so, in This portrait, he has shorter cropped dark hair. He looks very, very similar to his father. He's got the same crow's, what is that called?
Widow's Peak?
Widow's
Widow's
Peak. Widow's Peak.
Peak.
Widow's Peak.
I don't know where that came from. I was thinking
have
crow's
that.
nest for some reason. You do have that.
Genetics.
But his hair is more shortly cropped rather than his father's, who was longer and then slicked back a bit. He has the same really like long beaked nose that his father has. He looks very much like Victoria.
Okay.
And then there's also the two babies that are being held in this portrait as well, which you can assume to be the twins. You are led through a door, the northern door, which brings you guys to kind of a circular room that is basically the center of the house that has a set of stairs that go up, that kind of curve a little bit around the curve of this room. It's not quite exactly circular, but it's like a rounded rectangle, basically. And then he leads you to the western side of this room to another door where he knocks very softly. And you hear a female voice behind the door say, "You may enter." And he opens the door and peeks his head in and says, "Lady, your guests are here." And she says, "Thank you very much. Send them in." And he opens the door wider and allows you to enter.
What are the... no, I'll bring it up later.
This room that you have entered is an office. There are very tall stacks of legal tomes, financial ledgers that kind of rest on top of a mahogany desk. There is a freestanding suit of bronze armor, so helm, gauntlet, greatsword, everything that stands inside the door. There's the desk, there's bookshelves, there's like a credenza on top of which there's different just like trinkets, vases, things like that, under which there are cabinet doors, and above the credenza, which is behind the desk, there is another family portrait. This time of the twins being a little bit older, about 3 or so, again with a teenage boy, who in this portrait looks a lot older. He looked to be like 13 or 14 in the other one. Looks to be about 17 or 18 here. Very much grew into those features that make him look a lot like his father. Hair is much longer, coiffed back to look more like his father. He's got that same like very exaggerated beaky nose, rectangular sort of face with a strong jawline. But yeah, there is also a teenage boy in this portrait. Behind the desk sits the lady of the house, who smiles at you as you enter. The door shuts behind you as the man who is outside closes it, the man who led you here. But she smiles, Amalia does, gestures. There's 2 seats on the other side of the desk. She gestures to them and says, "I'm sorry I don't have a third, but you may sit if you'd like."
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I mean, you're letting us in to your home without a prior appointment. We understand.
I had a bit of time between appointments today, so I thought I would speak with you all today. What can I do for you?
Sir gestures for you two to take the seats, and he can stand behind you.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, I'll sit.
I will sit.
And I will stand behind you.
What can I do for you?
Well, it's been... You do it.
You-
I did all the other ones. You do this one.
Well, we seem to be potentially leaving town for a couple weeks, and we just wanted to check in with you and confirm things for the party, and if you had any requests, since we are going to be traveling to a different city, that we could maybe procure some special requirements, if you had any.
That's actually a wonderful idea. I was meaning to contact you guys within the next week or so. I know that there is some preparation that needs to be involved with catering a larger event. We're going to have about 100 people there, not including my family. So not a super large event, but large enough that I'm assuming you need some preparation.
Yeah.
My husband and I have spoken. I believe we are going to be going with you all as far as catering goes for the event.
Nice.
With the request that a few of my staff be allowed to work on your team in preparing the meals.
Of course.
I mean, honestly, our staff is great, but they're small. For 100 people at once, that's definitely would be necessary.
I can definitely provide a bit of my staff to ease the burden, and of course you would be paid generously. I have been preparing a bit of a menu if you would like to peruse it, though I am 100% open to any requests that you may have in altering it, or even suggestions you have as far as what meals you would like to prepare. Your establishment has become quite the talk of the North Ward, so I do trust your creative judgment in this case, but did you have any questions for me about it? I know we haven't officially hired you, but are you interested?
Definitely.
Well, yeah, that was kind of our initial main inquiry reason for coming here, was making sure that you actually wanted to hire us, because we want to make sure we have all our business squared away before we actually go. We'll only be gone like maybe a 10-day, plenty of time between our return and the party, so no issues there, but just making sure we're acquiring all the needed ingredients and supplies in the time, like, well in advance. Nova's a very good cook. She has some very good recipes, but I'm the dessert expert.
And we definitely want quite a bit of sweets. You can imagine the children's friends are going to probably gravitate towards those things more, but their families and other nobility in the city are going to be invited, so I would like there to be options that are more catered to the children and then also more catered to adult palates.
I was going to ask if the children had any special requests.
That is definitely something that I can talk with them about. They're generally not picky eaters. Terenzio doesn't like fish, so definitely we should keep fish off the menu. No. Elzarina is quite the adventurous eater, though. In fact, it was so funny. Victoria and I went out to dinner to a place over in the North Ward, and we brought the children with us. And one of the things on the menu, if you can believe it, was snails. And
wow,
Terenzio stuck his nose up at it. He did not want to try it at all. But Elzarina wanted to prove him wrong. She wanted to be better than her brother. She wanted to try it, and if you can believe it or not, she loved it, and now every time we go over there, she orders the snails.
That's the exact kind of energy that a little girl needs.
We love an adventurous soul.
She takes after her father so much.
Well, I mean, if you'd like us to, we would love to take a look at the menu. I'm sure that, we're not really noble, so we might not necessarily have the refined tastes that you would, but we can of course take a look at it and make suggestions, and you can let us know what you think. We definitely will do our best for a big event like this.
Well, I've eaten at your establishment, and I quite enjoyed the food there while I was there, so I would imagine that you would have great insights into it as to what the menu. I love the home-cooked sort of feeling that your food has. I tried the shepherd's pie one time. It was delicious. I had one of my staff come and pick it up for me because I was too busy working at the time, but it was so delicious.
I'm actually going to be visiting my mom, so I'll let her know that you enjoyed it. That's her recipe.
Oh, do pass it on. Oh, I love that that's your mother's recipe.
It sounds like perhaps we should... He said You sent staff to pick it up. We probably could have delivered it for you.
Oh no, don't worry about going to the trouble. I don't want you to put yourselves out more for us than you need to. Absolutely not.
Well, next time, tell them to let us know that they've been sent by you, and we will make sure to put something a little bit extra in just for all of you.
Oh, that's so kind of you. I will make sure that they pass that along.
Yeah, at the very least, I can put some like chocolates in for the twins. Always got like candy and stuff.
They
Don't need more sugar.
Voracious sweet eaters. They will eat anything as long as it has sugar in it. Not that they need more, but who am I to judge?
Stylistically wise, is this meant to be a little bit more of an open table sort of catering, or are you planning the menu in courses?
I want to plan the menu in courses, and I want to do it per plate per person. Okay. So, and I will pay you per course, and it doesn't need to be like a huge, extravagant 7-course meal, but an appetizer or hors d'oeuvres. I was thinking the beginning, as everybody's sort of just mingling, having passed around hors d'oeuvres and things like that, and then everybody can move to sit down and have their meal with an appetizer, the meal, a dessert, perhaps with coffee, things like that.
And alcohol?
You are a tavern, are you not?
That is very true. By the nature of alcohol, should we just bring some of our prepared bottles, or will we possibly be able to have an open bar at the event itself? I don't.
We also have.
It is here at the estate.
Yes.
We have a very close relationship with the Snow Beetle Meadery, so if there were any special
I love their wine.
We've done work for them on multiple occasions. They know us quite well, so if there's anything like from there, we can get it.
Would it be easier for you for us to pay by the bottle, or would you like to do an open bar?
I look at Tellis because that's like the bar's kind of her domain.
That's your bar, honey.
Well, here's the thing. What sort of energy? Obviously, like, the children are going to have their part of the party, and it's super exciting and fun and great. The adults, are you looking to have a more casual, low-key get-together, or something that will be like the talk of the town?
I'm thinking more of a casual, low-key get-together. I don't want my twins' party to become a rager, so to speak.
A rager at a twins' birthday.
Yeah, no, she could be a wine mom.
All of us just.
She's a wine. She could have been a wine mom. I had to check. Right then, I mean, 100 people.
I would imagine probably around 3 to 4 glasses of wine per person.
We can probably do just by the bottle then.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
the bottle might be better for that.
Because you said about 100 guests, not including your family. Are you having extended family come, or do you just mean that the household?
It will just be me, my husband, and the twins.
I'm not actually. He's not actually doing this, but
This is Dylan.
they're just her husband, and
Just
the
her
twins. Huh?
husband and the twins. Wait, she said that she hadn't like asked the twins what kind of theme or like any like special things they wanted, right? Dude, I want to have a costume party so bad. I want to have a freaking masquerade with these. I want to bring it up.
Masquerade ball for like
they're
turning like what 10?
They're turning,
8 or 9, 10,
yeah, they're
something
10.
in that range.
They're 9 now. They're turning 10.
Yeah, why not? They're literally rich as fuck. I want to bring it up, but I don't want to be extra.
I mean, you're
We're holding
Tellis.
it.
You're always extra.
I'm trying really hard for you guys to not be extra right now.
Like, it's because we're not the party planner, we're the catering, so it's like we cater.
But we did like bring up that like I like to party. I
That's
do
true.
believe that was brought up.
You did bring up that you like to party. So,
I like to party.
I'd like to party.
Plus, I'm not gonna say that one needs to be said in character. It's not a funny thing, it's a serious thing. Okay, back in.
Okay.
What is the menu? Has she showed us the menu yet?
She kind of starts digging through the papers and things that she has on the desk. The desk is very, very disorganized, and she just kind of laugh and make a joke about how she never knows where anything is. As she's moving around financial papers and things like that, you know, because Raynor told you that her husband is a banker. So there is a lot of financial ledgers and paperwork involved in that nature. Before she finally pulls out a piece of parchment that has very rudimentary notes kind of scribbled on it. The children keep going back and forth on the sort of things that they like, so I've been trying to kind of keep it a bit planned but not planned, if that makes sense, as far as what we're going, because they change what they like and dislike on a weekly basis.
Flexible to the capriciousness of children.
Exactly. For the adults, well, actually, before I give this to you, do you have any ideas?
Guys, what are we thinking?
Say what you wanted to say, Beach.
I'm thinking about, like, cake. I'm thinking of those, those cute little petit fours, like the little square cake. I'm not thinking of actual, like, food at all. No, you know what? Talus is thinking a really nice salad with some, like, dark greens and, like, arugula, and then maybe, like, a nice goat cheese and, like, a, like, blueberry, like vinaigrette dressing with some, like, toasted almonds on top.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Hello, sign me up.
Like, where? I don't know where that came
I don't know.
from. But...
Or you know what? Like a pomegranate blueberry vinaigrette.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the salad. And then, like, if people want to add chicken or whatever, like, they can add. They can add their meat. I don't know. But then dessert, I like those little square cakes that they're, like, covered in and they have a little flour on them. I just like that.
I would definitely love to hear what the children like in terms of just what their hobbies are, and maybe, like, we could see if we can, like, maybe build a birthday cake around what they want. Whether it be a shape, like a shape of...
Oh, that would be so lovely.
Whether it's an animal or a toy, but it's edible.
Take, like, a little inspiration from their minds and
I definitely
incorporate it subtly into the theme.
Yeah, I would love to.
I could go and fetch them if you'd like to talk with them.
Yes, I would love to.
They were really fun to play with. That was, like, we, like, collected so many bugs. Oh, I probably shouldn't tell you that.
They have very big mouths, so even if they wanted to keep it a secret, they've already told me, and they talked about it for days after we left the Three of Cups, so I'm sure they would be very excited to see you. Let me get them fetched, and I will leave you to talking with them for a bit, and you can just kind of see what they like.
Sure.
Cool.
Of course.
Yo, where did that note go? Like, what happened?
What note?
Our familiar.
Like, oh well, I said if it was banging against a window that I would have Hickory eat it. So I'm guessing it's in Hickory's weird spirit stomach.
Spirit stomach?
I mean, because that
the astral sea that is Hickory's stomach.
But, like, does it sit in his stomach forever, like when rabbits eat cigarette butts? Like, is it like that that they don't digest it?
Well, you need to remember that Hickory is a fiend from hell, so I sent that note to hell.
Oh, wow.
My duck is from hell.
Well,
like, he is a fiend, yes.
Yeah.
So she kind of tilts her head up a little bit. Abel! And the door opens again, and that man that led you here in the first place kind of peeks his head in. He's like an older tiefling. I don't think I even described his horns. He has like ram horns and like grayish skin that kind of curl. Yeah. He pokes his head in and is like, "Will you go fetch Terenzo and Elzarina for me, please?" And he nods and the door shuts again.
I did have one more question. Do we need to procure uniforms for our staff for the event?
As long as it is cohesive, I don't necessarily think there's anything very specific that you need to purchase or have, but as long as it's cohesive in style and color and you're easily identifiable to the guests of the party, I think it'll be fine.
All right,
I trust your judgment.
Purple
Okay.
outfits.
We will all be wearing purple.
You can't just do purple. It depends on like what the theme is, but it can't be too heavily themed because then it's just tacky. I'm just telling you, like I've been a little bit of an influencer in some circles of Waterdeep like socialites, and I've helped them plan parties.
Oh, you've planned parties before?
Yeah, I've like actually like I help people like I used to like when I first got to the city. I was like helping people pick out outfits and like just helping like plan little get-togethers and stuff, like that kind of stuff.
Have you ever
Nothing
planned a
this big.
party of this
No.
nature?
Well, not like this. I mean, I've planned little like themed get-togethers, but not a birthday party of like 100+ people.
But you're totally capable.
Oh yeah. In fact, if it's for children, like
More than qualified.
I've had a very rough day today, you two, but I want you to know that this is the kind of thing where I absolutely shine no matter what.
If you can put together a mock-up, essentially, of what a party plan in this nature might be for you, and present it to me, we can potentially discuss giving you that position for the event as well.
Yeah, I mean, when we were designing, do you two remember I had that little binder, the lookbook with the inspiration for the decoration of the tower? I could do. Love it.
This would essentially be an audition or an interview for the position. We do have other people interested, but I would be more than interested to see your take on it.
I would be happy to even be considered in the slightest.
Would we be able to get a look at the venue then, so that she can better plan around the space?
Sure, I can have Abel give you a tour of the house.
That would be wonderful. Is it going to be throughout the estate?
It will be throughout the area. There will be places, of course, that we do not want guests to be, but it will generally be in this area, yes. I'm opening up my map to my own home.
Hold on.
Hold
When
on.
you're this rich,
Give me a moment.
you need to have a map of your own home.
You do, and I can.
When it's this big, bitch, I feel you.
I don't even know where any of the rooms in my house are. Okay, so there's actually three floors to the house, and there is above us in room C13. There's a ballroom upstairs that will be kind of like the main area where everyone is going to be, but we will allow guests to roam from most of the house, and actually even the grounds. The grounds will be open as well. The only things that will be off limits are actually this room here, because this is actually my husband's office.
Of course.
A few other rooms in the home, obviously, like the kitchen and any staff areas, the guest house, and the coach house.
She was saying those are the off-limit things,
Yeah.
or the...
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we need to
So
bring
the
our
two-
food, like...
The two tinier buildings, and then like this office, basically.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like, our bedrooms.
bedrooms,
things
yeah.
like that. But most of the house will be able to be accessed by guests, and you, of course, will have full access to the kitchen. You can bring all your supplies here. You can cook here if you'd like.
That would be wonderful. That way we can make sure that everything's fresh.
But we do have a ballroom. There's a banquet hall as well. We do have a banquet kitchen, which will be what you will be using. And then the main areas of the house, the foyer, things like that that you walked through to get here. The library will probably keep off limits as well, or maybe we'll make it sort of like a lingering, like a mingling room. If you exactly. And then there's the smoking room as well, which of course my husband and his friends will probably be sitting in for most of the party. You know, men.
It's got a wrestling mat.
The smoking room is for the boys.
Of course, I will let you, of course, go with Abel through the house, so he'll give you a bit of a tour of the areas that we will have access to, show you the kitchen, show you the facilities, and then in the planning mock-up that you give me, if you have any ideas of what to do with any of the rooms, of course, that will be your domain if the position is given to you.
I need to see the space and know what kind of themes we're leaning towards, so that I can plan something for the space that's not too much.
This is a wonderful opportunity, though, and we thank you for.
I'm glad we stopped
Even
by while you
considering
did.
And I hope it jumpstarts getting other events for your business in the future. If it goes well, of course, I'd be willing to put in a good word or even write you letters of recommendation.
That would be something.
That would be pretty cool.
Go further than you could possibly imagine. Yes.
There is another little tap tap on the door, and it opens. And Abel kind of peeks his head in and he says, Miss Castellans, I'm here with the children. And she says, okay, and stands and she says, why don't we go elsewhere? I was going to leave you with them, and I don't want to just leave you here in my husband's office, but we can take you to their playroom. Actually, Abel, why don't you assist? And she kind of says, Terenzio, Azarina, and they kind of both peek their head in, like Scooby-Doo style, underneath Abel's head. Why don't you lead them to your playroom? And they want to talk to you a bit about your birthday party. And they both, okay!
Yeah!
So, I have a bit more work I need to get done here, but you all can stop by here when you're done if you have any other questions or want to talk anymore.
Thank you so much for your time and consideration. We appreciate it.
If I don't see you, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
We should set up, if I don't see you, speak with Abel about setting up a meeting to talk when you guys get back from your trip, so we can decide how things move forward. If you'd like to start with the party planning, or if you just want to cater.
Perfect. Sure.
Okay. So, the kids lead you out the door.
I don't know if you saw the message, but you are a saint for letting us spend, like, this much of our session doing this.
It's your game, guys. You get to do whatever you want. The kids lead you out of the room, and you're back into that kind of rounded rectangular room that in the middle that has the stairs. Abel waits behind, and the kids run up the stairs, to which you can follow. You are brought to the ballroom, actually. So when you step up from the stairs open up immediately into what is clearly the ballroom of the home. In the center, there is a human-sized wooden cloth mannequin with a painted face, and it's dressed up in a ballroom gown, like a ballroom dancer. The floor is a polished marble that has a very intricately done mosaic that depicts a silver chalice that has that same sun symbol in it. Which again, the chalice specifically is the symbol of the demigod of nobility. The sun is usually on the chalice.
Okay.
There are also gilded mirrors and very, very extravagantly placed handsome tapestries that line the walls, with drapes of a crimson color that stretch floor to ceiling. It is extremely extravagant, though kind of dismal with no one dancing in it. It's just kind of a hugely large room. There's a set of stairs so the stairs you came into directly into the ballroom, and then there's a break that moves into another area, another room, and then there's another set of stairs that go up again. And you can kind of get a peek of what is in that area as you move. It looks like the banquet hall that was spoken about. There is a huge, long wooden dining table that has chairs around it that you would generally have outfitted with food. But that is the banquet hall that she's talking about you guys would have access to. But you only kind of get a glimpse of it as you move up the stairs that the kids keep going, and Abel is following behind you. Do you guys stop at all, or are you continuing to follow the kids?
I'm following the kids.
Yeah, I'm following.
Question though, I'm sure it's already like dissipated now, but like when we were in Victoria's office with her, was there anything connecting with my detect magic in there?
That is a good question. Let me take a peek. The suit of armor was magical.
Okay.
It had transmutation magic on it.
Okay.
Let me look at the desk here. There was something in the desk that was also giving you a magical aura.
Okay.
God
damn it, no! Stop it. Stop it.
I'm not dealing with that guy.
I've had enough of him for a lifetime. I don't...
Becky!
I've got him. I don't even...
Evocation magic coming from something in the desk. Yes.
Evocation's always Evocation and enchantment are the ones who are always like...
Great.
Okay.
Someone's gonna blow us up.
Well, it's like it could blow up, or it could be like he has a glyph on his desk that makes a light. You know, like they're both evocation.
Okay.
Yeah, the evocation and enchantment are kind of like really broad as far as magic goes.
Where in the desk is it?
Like in a drawer.
In a drawer, okay.
Yeah, it's just like emanating from one of the drawers.
Gotcha.
But anyway, do you guys continue following the children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy's behind us, isn't he?
Yeah, he's following behind you.
Yep.
Rip.
That's why I'm not doing anything.
So the stairs lead you up directly to... Basically, the stairs kind of come up and curve, and then at the top of the stairs is a landing that's about 10 foot by 10 foot, and then it's just the wall of the house. There's one door to your left and one door to your right, and that's it. There's more up here, but you kind of get the idea that the rest of what's up here is connected through doors throughout those rooms, these two rooms that these doors lead to. Kids, go to the door to your left as you come up the stairs, and it brings you into their playroom. This room is about 20 by 20 feet. It's a square. Into the western wall, there is another door that can be gone through. But they don't go to that door at all. Strewn about the floor, there's giant stuffed animals, jack-in-the-boxes, dolls. There's a rocking horse that's like painted to look like a war horse. There's a large mobile that has like a butterfly hanging from the ceiling that's just kind of turning very listlessly. There is a woman here who is actually in the room as well. Another... Let me look here. I'm so sorry. She has like flowing red robes on. She's a female, and she's also a tiefling. She's got more maroon skin, whereas Abel had kind of gray skin. And she is in the process of cleaning up the toys. The kids kind of burst into the room. And she sits up, and she like kind of gets startled at the door, like banging and smacking into the wall. And it was Terenzio who burst into the room first, followed by Elzarina. And she turns to Terenzio and she says, "Terenzio, that is not how we enter a room. You enter a room politely. We don't want to put dents in the walls. I've told you that more than once." And he kind of hangs his head. Sorry. And she looks at the 3 adults that are following the children and kind of looks at you a little alarmed. Can I help you?
I mean, we're just mostly interviewing the kids so that we know what kind of ideas and thoughts they had about their birthday party. Oh, we own a restaurant called the Three of Cups, and we are going to be catering the birthday party on...
Okay. You can imagine Abel kind of comes up behind you. You can imagine 3 grown adults coming into the children's playroom. It was just, I'm sorry. And Abel says they're here to speak to the children about their party. And she says, my name is Liba. I am the children's nanny. Do you want me to stay here? Do you want me to go?
I mean...
Up to you. If you have insights on...
We're not your boss.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay here and just supervise the children, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Of course.
She sits down and she says, you don't have to right now to the kids, but as soon as we're done talking to you, you need to pick these toys up. I'm not here to clean up after you. And they kind of sit down at like a play table, kind of, or smaller chairs, and she sits in kind of a rocking chair that's towards the corner of the room, and she kind of goes silent. And Abel closes the door, and you are now alone with Liba and the 2 children.
Do you guys want to see the stag beetle that I found on the sidewalk outside of your house?
What's a stag beetle?
It's in my pocket, and I pull out the stag beetle, which is probably like really like its little legs are like. Yeah, it was actually like kind of ramming into me kind of hard when we were in there, and it was tickling my waist, and I had a really hard time not being like while we were talking to your mum.
What is that?
It's a bug.
What are those things on its face?
So if there's 2 stag beetles, they will spar like swordsmen they have like a big long like.
So they're like warriors, but bugs.
Yeah, and their swords are built into their bodies.
I wish I had a sword built into my body, says Torrenzia.
Here, do you want to hold it?
Will it pinch me?
Just don't like jostle it a lot, and probably not.
Okay, and he holds his hands out.
Give him the beetle.
He's just like holding it.
So did the 2 of you have any ideas on what you want for your birthday party?
Sorry.
We want to make sure that this party is very fun for you. So we want to be able to do things for it that you like. So more than just like your favorite color, things like that. Like, what do you like to? What do you? If you could have a party with anything in it, anything that you like, what would you put in it? Give us some ideas.
Well, Mum and Dad always plan the parties, so we never really get to decide what's there. What kinds of things are usually at parties?
I mean,
Usually it's just a bunch of adults eating food and talking.
Do you guys want that to be what this party is like? Because if I have anything to say about it, and there's a chance that I do, that's not what it's going to be like. I mean, there will be adults talking and having fun, but like, this is your birthday party, so you should enjoy it.
Important birthday. Big. So we want to make it fun.
And Elzarina kind of holds up both hands. 10.
Double digits is a big deal.
So,
can we have our own separate areas? Because I always have to have everything that Torrenzio has because he's my twin, and I want to be able to have my own things.
I mean, yeah, your house is like really big.
Yeah.
We can probably do that very easily. If you each have like a thing that's really special to you, we can probably have separate areas for it. But then maybe if there's things that you both like, we can have things that are put together. Like if you like carnival games, you could have a carnival game. Or if you like,
games.
if you like, you know, like, okay, so Nova here can read magic from cards. And she could do things like that.
What kind of magic?
The future.
You can read the future?
I mean, sometimes. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know she told one of the captains of the City Watch that he was going to be finding love soon? It's going to
Did
go
it
on like a
happen?
little
Was it
date.
true?
We don't know. Probably.
I think you mean, is it true yet?
Because it's the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you two like music? Do you want music at the party?
Yes.
Okay. We can have music. Games.
What kind of games?
What kind of games do you like to play?
Yeah.
Have you ever oh my gosh. Alright, your birthday's in the fall, and usually, like, I don't know if there would be, like, a Forgotten Realms version of a maypole, because there's no month of May, but I'm gonna just use the term maypole. I don't know if you've ever run around a maypole, but it would be kind of fun to have, like, an autumnal, like a maypole that's, like, the color of, like, leaves and fall, or, like, your favorite colors. You could do, like, half and half, or, like, a mix. Those are
Okay.
really fun. They look really cool when you're done.
Okay.
What if there were, like... Here's the thing. What if there were, like, costumes?
Okay to everything we say.
What if everyone was wearing a costume and a mask and you didn't know who was talking
That's
to?
my favorite, Elzarina. That's my favorite. I love dressing up in costumes.
You know what? I love dressing up in costumes too, and I knew it, and I didn't want to bring it up to your mom because I wasn't sure if she was gonna like it, but I knew you would. I knew you would.
I want to have costume. Can we have like a costume party? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that can be what my friends do. My friends can wear costumes.
Sure.
We can do that for your area. What about you, young man? What was something that you would like just for your area?
Well, I like ships.
I worked on. I helped work in the dock.
You're like, what?
Yeah, we've all spent a bit of time on ships, and we're probably going to be spending time on a ship in the next couple days.
I've always wanted to go in a ship. I've always wanted to be a sailor, or I know that my mum would say no, but I've always wanted to be a pirate.
Oh my god! What if we brought in real pirates to perform? Like, have you ever heard stories of Captain Zardoz Zord's party his pirate adventures?
No.
And how he's saved people from raging beasts?
I know, but I want to hear about it.
Well, what if there were people performing those and like acting, and like you could go and like you could pretend fight with them? I'm basically thinking like a little theater area where people are like Cirque du Soleil pirates, but like with magic.
We're gonna come back to Lady Castellanter and we're gonna be like $, $.
I don't think she cares. Like, but also
think she
like
cares either.
we could have like little like pirate-y like
Yeah, a little nautical area.
backdrop, but supplemented with like little magical illusion things to like make it more like dimensional.
Here's what you want to be a pirate. How about this? So your sister is going to have a little costume party. I will bring for your party, I will get you an eye patch, like a pirate. I will get you a captain's hat because you are the captain. And I will get you a little buddy to put on your shoulder.
Like a parrot, like real pirates have.
I will get you a parrot to put on your shoulder. And we will hide a very special birthday present somewhere in the house. And
Like a
we will
treasure
give
hunt.
you a treasure map. And you have to, with clues. And you have to find the treasure.
And then Elzarina, I don't want to find a treasure.
You can do it too if you would like.
Well,
Maybe we can do one of each.
Here's the thing. See, you each have a thing that you like, But it sounds like both of you kind of want to have like costumes. So everyone, you can have pirate costumes, and I mean, Elzarina, what kind of costumes would you want to wear? Because like I would want to dress up like a fairy, but maybe you want to dress up as like a lion, or maybe you want to dress up as like a warrior. Like
I want to dress up like the people that travel with my father when he goes out of the city. The people that have the very big swords. There's a word and I can't remember what they're called.
You want to be a knight?
No, it's bigger. Like
bigger?
Somebody that's hired to
Bodyguard?
a mercenary.
You want to be a mercenary for your birthday?
I must protect these kids at all costs. This is my endgame campaign. I must protect these kids at all costs. Oh my god,
These
my
are
heart.
all right. So what about pirates and mercenaries? And you team. You have your sides of the party, and then you team up to find the treasure. Or maybe you compete to find the treasure.
But then that means that if Terenzio wins, I don't get a treasure.
Well, what if everybody gets a different part of the treasure map, and it's a puzzle to put it together?
Okay.
Because I have no idea what we're talking about.
They're 10. They're 10.
No,
There will definitely be a treasure
there will
for
be a
each of
treasure.
you.
Okay.
And the most important thing is no adults allowed on the treasure hunt.
Yep.
Just for you kids.
Okay, because then the adults will take everything, and that's always. It's just for the kids.
Just for the kids.
Of course.
Are you? Do you have friends coming?
Mm-hmm.
That's very exciting.
Is there something
Do you guys have?
that?
Do you mind?
Ooh.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you guys have a favorite flavor of cake? What type of cakes do you guys want?
That's like that's.
Cake, kids.
Says Terenzio. I want a cake that has. I want a cake made out of all of chocolate.
All of chocolate.
All of chocolate.
All of chocolate. Ice a lot of chocolate.
What flavor do
very
you
good.
like, Elzarina?
I like a lot of fruit, like strawberries and cherries, and my mom always gives me blueberries with my yogurt in the morning. I love blueberries.
Do you guys have favorite toys that you can show me?
They both get up and they gather some of their toys. Most of what Terenzio brings you is like model ships and different like figurines of like sharks and whales. And
I'm making him a chocolate ship. That's what I'm making him.
And he's got like a stuffy that's like an octopus that he brings over.
But
Looking at like the quality and
know
like
exactly
materials
what you're gonna
of
do.
these toys, they're like very high quality, like well maintained toys.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, are they the kinds of toys that have like very fine like paint on and like, like lacquering on them?
Yeah,
that kids are
they're-
definitely not appreciating.
Or at least they used to. These are very well loved toys, but they're very clearly
well made.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like there's paint chipping on some of them because they've been played with a lot, things like that. But they're very well loved. Elzarina, most of the toys that she brings over are figurines of knights, dolls that look like they have homemade clothing on them to look like armor. She has wooden swords and shields that she plays with, things like that.
Okay, I'm getting ideas. Okay.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
ideas
I'm
too.
getting.
Okay.
We will discuss.
Are we? Do we need anything else?
I mean, I got my bases covered on what I need to make for these kids, so...
My out-of-character question is, are we going to try and find out anything from these kids about the overall plot of this campaign?
Here's the thing. I was thinking that when we're gone, Bramble can do the talking to these kids over time.
That's kind of what I was on it. Like, I wanted to finish out with, like, a mentioning of the fairies. Because I didn't want to bring it up, especially with 2 adults in the area.
Because they got their nanny in the room. I do want these kids to have a good birthday, regardless of what we're doing with their parents' bullshit. So,
because I can't think of anything else to.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm getting like.
I think we've got a solid plan.
I'm getting an aesthetic, and I'm getting.
We're all going to meet for the next 3 days in our own private calls and continue to plan it.
This is what we do on the ship while we're traveling.
New channel on the server, birthday party idea.
Birthday party. I love this campaign so much, you guys. This makes me so happy.
I think I'm mostly done with the things that I wanted to ask. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her if there's any symbols that are on these mercenaries she like sees and like admires. If there's any color scheme or symbols that she likes about it.
The mercenaries that my father hires or that he uses for like guards around the estate usually just have a family symbol on their chests. But there's lots of red and green, but I don't like those 2 colors together. I think those 2 colors look very ugly together. I prefer.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes, I prefer like green and like blue.
Okay.
Blue, I think those look very good together.
I think I can work with that.
Red and green are contrasting colors, like on the color wheel or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. But they don't look good together unless it's Christmas, which doesn't exist in this world. I have a nosebleed, brief stroke, back into it.
So if you all are finished with your questions for the children for now, at the very least, you can fetch. Go ahead.
Want to ask, what did your mom say about leaving snacks up for the fairies? Have you been leaving them little snacks?
She nods.
Well, did you see any?
I don't think I've seen any yet, but the food keeps going away, so I think somebody's eating it.
You know what? I have a feeling it's probably going to happen soon, so don't stop, because they decide when they're ready to show up. And as long as you keep trying, you'll probably see them, and then you'll have a friend for life.
My mum helped me make a little fairy garden outside in the gardens, and I made this little door out of like wood, and I put it on the tree to make it look like there's like a little house on the tree.
You're a natural. Have you seen any mushroom circles? Like little ring of mushrooms.
There's no circles, but there are mushrooms growing by the tree.
If you ever see mushrooms growing in a perfect circle, that'll take you right to where all the fairies live.
Okay, I'll make sure I watch to see if the mushrooms keep growing.
Alrighty. I think we've got some pretty good ideas. We'll leave
I'm going to tell my mum and dad that I want you guys to plan my party.
You know what? You 2 are really cool.
Yeah.
You're like cooler than most of the adults in the whole city of Waterdeep.
I think most adults are probably not cool, but you guys are cool. but most adults are not. My mom and dad are kind of cool.
They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think when I met them the first time, I think I might have said something about trying to make a secret handshake with them. Mm-hmm. Can I see if they remember the secret handshake?
Where'd my dice go?
Oh dear.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, we do
Come on, kids.
They do remember.
No.
Alzarina kind of messes up one time, and she's like, "Wait, no, start over," and then she does it, and then she'll do it.
We do the handshake, and yeah.
So wholesome. I love it.
Okay.
I must
So
protect
if you guys are done,
Yeah.
if you guys are done talking to the kids, you can fetch Abel from outside. who will then begin to take you guys on a tour of the city of the house.
The city.
Whole city. But I think that's a great place to start next week.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can end here on a very positive note.
We did
Before
it!
we get murdered.
And
Yeah.
and then Baldur's Gate.
And then Baldur's Gate.
Oof. Well, honestly.
Ah!
I'm not ready.
Does anybody have any closing remarks?
Little Dragon Corp, 10% off with the coupon code Pro Bonus, and also thank you to Cardboard Castle Games. Check out all of our other games. We got content like every day. We got some cool stuff coming next week. Check it out.
Thanks again to Adrian Von Ziegler for his music. There was like a portion of time where I forgot to redo it, but it sounds pretty good. I love it. Also, check out Mystic Hour tomorrow for our group of Delve Requisite and potential announcement about something coming soon on September 1st. So come check us out.
And then my message is always going to be out there. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives still matter.
Always.
This stream is done for today. Go out there, support Black streamers, support Black creators, support Black people in all spaces, because even if the hashtags have stopped, it is still a movement and needs your support now more than ever.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands and
Wear a
social
mask.
distance and wear a mask.
Okay. If you are trying to put your hat in the ring as a bid to plan two 10-year-olds' birthday parties, make sure you use your proficiency bonus.
Hell yeah.
I'll see you all next week.
Okay, love you, bye.